Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 7 of Never Before Seen. My name is AmberCyprian, and I am your host tonight as we bring you another couple of speedruns of games that have never before been seen in mainline GDQ events. And as always, if you happen to speedrun a game that has never been run in an AGDQ, SGDQ, or GDQx event, and you'd like to submit it to the show, type NBS, !NBS, into the chat and find the link to be able to send me your runs, and I would absolutely love to have you. So I normally do themes every episode, and this is no exception. We have 2 games that dabble in mixing and hybridizing different genres lined up for you all tonight. The first one being, and I'm going to butcher this name a few different times tonight, The Magic of Scheherazade. I think I got that right. But this game kind of looks... It looks like a Zelda game, but also has, I think I've seen like turn-based RPG moments in it. It's definitely going to be an experience. I'm actually really looking forward to it. So I'm not gonna stall this any longer. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to our runner. Synth Pop is back to get the show started with The Magic of Scheherazade. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and we can go ahead and get the run started. And make sure you tell us the names of those beautiful fur babies.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. My name is Synth Pop is back, and to Vonnie Von out in chat, darn right it is. This is The Magic of Scheherazade. As you can see, it's a 1989 Culture Brain game for the NES, and like Amber said, it's one of those fantastic little hybrid genre games. There are, in fact, random encounters, turn-based random encounters like a Dragon Warrior, that hopefully we will not see. Or at least if we do, I won't get stuck in them. But yeah, anyway, it's got time travel and a class system, and yeah, that's... I mean, I'll have more to say about it as we go along. But in any case, we're gonna start here. Timer has not started yet, don't worry. There's a little bit of information about the backstory. Best line in the game right there, "For his evil desire." That's apparently a complete thought.
I love the English in early video games.
Oh yeah, it's great. Okay, so this is Coronia, the time spirit. She's a cat or a mouse, not really sure, but it's very important that we remember that she is the time spirit and her name is Coronia. And like I said, there's a class system. You can change classes at different mosques throughout the whole game. In each chapter, there's 5 chapters. We're going to be a magician as much as possible, but we will have to switch to the other 2 at some point. Yeah, and then right before I get started, we have up top the black cat. Her name is Eris. It's E-R-I-S. She's not named after the video game character. She's named after the Greek goddess of discord. And she has about a 3-inch tail, and it's adorable, and I love her. And the orange cat that's curled up in a little ball is Athena. She has a normal sized tail.
I love them so much.
They're so good. Okay. Anyway, timer will start in 5 seconds if that's okay. So I'll give, or at least I'll give a countdown of 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's jam. Athena or Athena, who knows? Yes, hail Discordia. She's my first cat. I picked her specifically because she has the tiny little tail.
Oh.
She was, her mother had the little tiny tail, and she was the only one in her litter that did too, so that was pretty much choice made for me. Okay, so like I said, we have random encounters. We're gonna try a little bit of a manipulation. There's like some variables running in the background that determine when random encounters happen when you leave certain screens. And if you take damage at the right time, it'll lock those values in place, and then you can kind of skate through the next couple of encounter screens. Okay, that guy cooperated, so that's good to go. Hopefully I will be able to take damage here, but nothing showed up, so there's a backup that we can try as well. And that wasn't it, but okay. In any case, yeah, like you can see, it's got some Zelda stuff going on. Screen by screen, we go through the game and explore and solve puzzles and find companions to make our party bigger, and then we fight bosses and stuff. The basic backstory of the game is that the evil wizard Sabaron has captured the 4 princesses of Arabia and their father, King Faisal, and one of them is our sweetheart Scheherazade, and we have to go find her, rescue everybody, and defeat the evil wizard.
So I saw you choose a class at the beginning of the game. What exactly does that do?
Okay. There are 3 classes: Saint, Fighter, and Magician. The Saint class is the worst class in the entire game. As you can see, we're going to go back through time a little bit, find some companions so that we can come back into the present and beat the boss of this chapter. There are 2 weapons. There's the rod that I'm using right now, and it'll get upgraded at various points. There's one of those random encounters. There's also a sword. So the Magician can use upgraded versions of the rod, which give you increased damage per hit, plus you can have more shots on the screen at one time. Right now I can only have 1. And on top of that, they move rather slowly. So the later ones, you can have up to 3 shots on the screen, and they move across the screen twice as fast. The Fighter gets upgraded versions of the sword, and the sword will let you eventually start shooting out sword beams like Zelda, but also like just again increased damage output and all that kind of stuff. The Saint gets neither of those. There's one benefit to being a Saint, which is in Chapter 2. If you're playing this game not in the speedrun route, you'll get an item that lets you walk over damage tiles without taking damage if you're a Saint, but we skip that item, so there's no point in being a Saint, except for when you have to for story reasons. And like I said, there's one chapter where we have to become a fighter, one chapter where we have to become a Saint for pure story reasons, and then we'll switch back to Magician as soon as possible after that. So I didn't get the manip early on. We've only gotten 1 encounter, so that's not too bad. But well, I say things and then bad things happen, so I'm just gonna not say things like that ever again when I'm streaming. Getting stuck in one of these random encounters mostly just eats up time. Sometimes, you know, if you get killed in the encounter, it can be pretty bad. But getting into an encounter and then escaping from it at the first possible moment takes about 4 seconds. So every time you even get into one, you're losing a little bit of time. They are not really worth fighting. They take a long time, and they don't give you a lot of experience or money. They can occasionally drop items, which are useful though. Incidentally, money is a huge issue in this game. There's a ton of it. There's the best NPC in a video game ever, by the way. That old man sitting right there. I'll explain that in a second. But right now, I'm just going to borrow a ton of money from this shop and then spend a ton of money in this shop. Normally, you can only borrow 400 coins, rupees, whatever you want to call them. It turns out that if you, in the exact case where you have a debt of 350 and you ask for 150 rupees, he will actually give it to you. So you can, that's the only way that you can get 500. Normally he'll say you can't borrow that much. If you go with like 300, try to borrow 100 and then borrow another 100, you can't do it. So we're going to buy 2 breads, 5 mushrooms, and 3 carpets. The breads and mushrooms are HP and MP refilling items, respectively. They, if my HP goes down to 0, I'll eat a bread and gain 50. And this is the companion Farouk that we came back in time to get. I'm gonna ride this carpet back to the town of Edoria. Sorry, in this town, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, I walked into the university and took a course at the university, and that gave me the flame, which is the upgraded rod. It doesn't look any different, but it does double damage over the regular rod, which is very important for this actually the first 2 chapters, because we're not going to get the chapter 2 rod upgrade. One other thing before we get too far into this game, I do want to point out that there is a really, really strong photosensitivity warning for this game. Every boss fight is a flashy nightmare, and I will try my best to remember, because there are other points too where it'll happen. I'll try my best to remember, but I might miss one, and it's pretty excessive. I've been told that it is like one of the at least during the boss fights, that it's probably the flashiest NES game in existence.
Oh, gee. I thought Zelda 2's, like, game over screens were bad, like when you die.
Zelda 2 has nothing on this.
I wonder if it's on the same level as Link's Awakening DX, when you get killed by the shopkeeper. That flashing gets really bad, same with getting upgrades for your inventory as well. But I'm both interested and dreading seeing this flashing now.
Yeah, it's neither. Okay, so I don't remember having as much of a problem with Link's Awakening DX as you do with this game. But yeah, in any case, so Beckel, the best NPC in a video game, if you go talk to him in the past, he says, my name is Beckel, I will never leave here no matter what. And even after this town has, like, been flooded in the present and is filled with mermaids, he's right there. That man was not lying. He will not leave this town no matter what. So we're gonna stop in here and pick up a horn. It's actually a set of horns that'll let us get through a couple of screens and some palaces. And in here for the final companion, whatever this is, its name is Kibabu. It looks like a face with wings. I've been told it looks like Jamie Farr from MASH, which is not wrong. And then we go down the stairs to get back above the water. Does that make sense? Back into the water. And into the first palace. Okay, so we need to be about, well, yeah, we need to be at least 80 experience at this point for the beginning of this chapter, the end of this chapter, sorry. We'll hit that pretty easily. Not too worried about it. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of a grind, but not this time.
Okay, so the experience counter is, doesn't reset when you level up. Okay.
Doesn't reset what? Sorry?
I noticed that the experience counter doesn't reset to, like, 0 when you level up.
No, it doesn't. It's your total experience. And yes, so photosensitivity warning is coming up right now. So each of these bosses are, for the most part, the bosses have 2 phases. This one is Gilga, the boss of Chapter 1. We gotta kill each of these eyes.
Oh yeah, that's pretty bad. So if anyone is watching, please look away if you are sensitive, flashing lights, things blinking, etc. I myself am slightly sensitive to it myself as well. So I definitely feel that on needing a photosensitivity warning, and there is one in the title now. So yes, Synthpop and I will do our best to let you know, both in chat and verbally, when these are incoming. Just be aware.
Yep. Okay, and we're clear for now with the photosensitivity warning. Here's the first princess that we've rescued. She helpfully raises us to the maximum level for that chapter. Each chapter you can gain 5 levels. And we talked to her. Her name's Ashalado. And here we have the great evil magician Sabaron, who's telling us his evil plan for some reason, because that's just how they do it.
Like, the flashing light isn't quite as intensive as, like, the moments in some games I've seen, but it's so
Yep.
and is such bad color choices for it that it's just
blue
like,
and
why?
red.
Yeah.
So great. What a wonderful choice. So I guess now is a reasonable time to talk about the fact that there is a randomizer for this game. It's still in beta, but one of the features that we're working on getting into that randomizer is flash reduction. And in fact, I'm planning on probably implementing that, as long as it doesn't change timings or anything like that, implementing that into a practice version of the game. Because it doesn't bother me personally. Thankfully, like, I don't have that much of an issue with the flashing lights. And when you're speed running it, you can just look away, because you kind of know how long they're each supposed to last. Yeah, so we just had to do a little bit of a grind to get up to about 760 experience. This chapter is rather long in casual play, but kind of like the Lost Woods in Zelda 1, if you know your way through this desert, you can just go through it. You don't actually need the character to guide you. So instead of going and getting the 2 companions from this chapter and items and all that kind of stuff, we just skip straight to the palace. There is a 3rd companion that we do have to get, though, in order to fight the boss. This helpful lady will give us 50 free coins, which is quite useful. We need 340 just to get through Chapter 3, and then we need another, like, 410 to get through Chapter 4. And so we're into Palace 2. Cast the spell Deafening here to have the amount of damage that we take. And then it's just walk to that companion. Yeah, this chapter in vanilla is a little bit over 15 minutes, I think, or you know, in 100% rather. Any percent, yeah, it's more like 6.
How many chapters are in this game?
There are 5 total. The worst one, the one that kind of everybody hates, is chapter 4. There's a fairly large, really annoying RNG wall at the end of chapter 4, about 50 minutes into the game. I have some backup for it, but there is a chance that it could go pretty badly. It's one of those things you just have to play through the game, and there's no way to get better at it at that particular fight. It's just a nightmare, and, you know, kind of roll the dice when you get there. Okay. Alright, folks. Second warning coming up. Photosensitivity warning for now. We're going to be casting a lot of spells and doing a bunch of stuff. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we'll do 5 more of them. Eight times. Yeah. Yeah, so these bosses.
Tech for toning down the colors of the game during this boss fight. Oh, that was temporary. Never mind. I saw the screen dim for a moment, and I was like, that sort of helped, actually. At least
No,
helped me.
I think that may have just been between phases of the boss.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it fades out and back in. Oh, come on. So these bosses move. The second chapter boss and the 4th chapter boss kind of move around randomly like this. You have this weird little, like, bit of almost a shooter game. But in any case, the boss is dead, so we're done with the flashing lights for now. What we really need in terms of the speedrun is to figure out a way. There's like a barrier, roughly like 45% of the way up the screen that you can't get through. We need to figure out some way to clip on top of the screen so that we can shoot horizontally at those bosses instead of having to shoot upwards, because it's just so much RNG on those two. So anyway, this is chapter 3. This one is pretty straightforward in terms of like the stuff that you're doing in the speedrun versus casually. There's not a huge difference. Not like chapter 2 where we skipped like 60% of the chapter. This one we're going to be changing class to Saint in order to get a companion. But there's not a lot that you can really skip. It's just kind of knowing where to go, who to talk to, and not getting stuck in random encounters. Like that. So there we go. Yeah, getting stuck in a fight, especially with 4 pandarms, is pretty rough. You don't always have a lot of, spare HP. I happen to have an extra bread. I managed to save that during the Chapter 1 boss fight. So I was a little bit safer, but you can... Those pandarms attack twice per round. There were 4 of them, so, there's not much that can happen other than dying that's going to take more time. Yeah, if anybody's interested in running this game, there are other routes through this game that are a little bit simpler. The old route that we used to run, the big RNG wall that I was talking about at the end of Chapter 4, doesn't really matter. It was like 95% of the time you're going to get through that fight. Now it's more like 60%. So we're going to take a course here at the university to get a piece of armor that permanently halves the amount of damage that we take. It's quite nice. Very useful, especially in the Chapter 4 boss fight. Yeah, I kind of think of this as like, like the Guardian Legend, where it's got shooter elements and, the kind of screen-by-screen exploration stuff. And honestly, I feel like this game holds up just as well. Yes, I am 2 cats in a trench coat playing an NES game. Look, I know who the real stars of the show are. It's okay.
Let's be real, there's all the memes on the internet that say, show me your cats, so,
Yep. Oh, those guys suck. Okay, those trees are horrible. Those trees do so much damage. So there's a little bit of, like, movement tech in this. When you transition from screen to screen, you kind of snap onto a grid. So you'll see me not always going, as far as I can in one direction to try and take advantage of that to save frames on every transition. One of the other things is if you're in the air and an enemy touches you, you won't take damage. And if you're on a damaged tile and an enemy touches you, you'll take the damaged tile damage, not the enemy damage. So a lot of times you'll see me intentionally walking on damaged tiles in order to get through those tree sections, or you'll see me jumping a lot. And this is the only reason that we need to be a saint. This guy says, if you talk to him in the future, or in the past, he says, I promised to do something. And then he says, oh, I promised to do this other thing, didn't I? And you tell him no. And then he asks you for a password that you never got from him, but it happens to be Cho-Ko-La. And then you get his son, and we go and change back to Magician pretty much immediately. One of the other nice things about things like that, anytime you get a weapon or an armor upgrade without having to pay for it, so without going to like a university to get it, you get a free HP refill. So we definitely take advantage of that there. Yes, there is a particular person on Twitch who has the angry shopkeeper as an emote, and it's amazing, and I love it.
There are a lot of people in chat who have heard of this game, and I grew up on NES and Sega Genesis. I had never heard of this game.
I hadn't heard of this game until high school, when I was introduced to it by the current world record holder for the game, who I believe is in chat, Barbalut. So shoutouts to Barbalut and Aaron2U2. Aaron2U2 is the number 2 runner of the game. They're the only 2 people who have ever beaten this game in under an hour. I started running it because a friend showed it to me. My good friend Barbaloo showed it to me, and it seemed like it would be a fun thing to try and learn. And also, you know, there's like 7 of us on the leaderboard. So when I started running it, there was just 1 run on the board. Figured, hey, free 2nd place. Why not?
Someone says I rented this game so often that I would have saved money just buying it. Honestly, there was one video game that was like that for me on the SNES, and that was Artie Lightfoot. I never bought it, but I always re-rented it from my local store, and probably should have just bought it, gonna be real.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot easier to come up with $3 or $4 or whatever the rental price is every once in a while than it is to come up with $60 all at once.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, when you're a little kid in the 90s, like that amount of money discipline is hard to come by for me, at least.
I just remember being like, because like my parents would play video games with me, mostly my mother. My father was photosensitive. But I remember just being very, very heartbroken when they didn't re-rent Artie Lightfoot, and I was just like, what? Why?
Alright, so we give that Cimarron's fruit to this guy, and we get a new companion who is this thing. He's a pumpkin with transparent eyes, and it's horrible. Empty Eye, you are not on the leaderboard. Nobody, as far as I know, nobody ever submitted a run for you. And I forgot to use the carpet. We can fix that, though, if you would like. Yeah, I think Aaron and I have actually talked about that before. For the sake of completion, for anybody who's ever actually run this game, thought about possibly adding your run. Level 11 is all we need for this chapter, so we're good to go. Straight on to the boss. Well, actually, we need to get one more companion. So we're going to talk to Coronia again. Go back to the present. This time we're actually in the future. After the trees have taken over. And plunged Arabia into perpetual winter.
I want to pet Athena, she looks really but she decided to take her leave for a moment, and then she came back, and I was like, that is a fluffy baby.
Oh, she's super fluffy, and I could hear it, but I think it maybe didn't show up on the microphone. She was over there eating. You could hear her going crunch, crunch, crunch. Alright, so this is the first maze that we're actually going to go through. There are pits in this floor that I'm walking on, but if you walk up the left side of the little corridor, you'll miss them all. It's good to go.
The field of view on this maze reminds me of when you have, when you're in dark rooms in, like, the past. Not quite the same, because that's actually a cone of vision, but, like, it's like, probably similar to what the NES...
It's more like having a torch in Dragon Warrior, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and if we didn't have that companion, he's actually a jack-o'-lantern. He's not just a pumpkin. We wouldn't be able to see it all. Well, we'd be able to see me, but that's it. So then we go to Mustafa, we get him, pay him 100 rupees. And at this point, any money that I gain is going to be spent in Chapter 4. And then after Chapter 4, we won't have any need for money. I just need to double check something. Okay, I still have 2 lives. We're going to take an intentional death right before the boss. And here we go. There might be a little bit of flashing here. Sorry about that. That was a little late. And here too. Just go ahead and warn you. That's going to happen one more time, and then there's going to be the boss fight, so I'll try and warn you a little bit ahead of time for that.
Yeah, that's much appreciated.
Oh, and I went the wrong way. My gosh. No, if we could beat the game without the jack-o'-lantern companion, we wouldn't bother getting him. That's a huge detour to get to him. We skip all of the ones that you can, but the game actually does a pretty good job of locking you into having to have certain things. Yeah, so flashing will be coming up again in 2 screens.
Boss fight?
And then the boss fight.
Okay.
Yeah, not having to get pukin would save 5 or 6 minutes. Alright, so we're gonna walk off into the water here, and then we're gonna enter the boss room, so flashing warning from here.
I'm just trying to make sure I alert people in chat. For those who have the stream muted, thankfully I'm coming in a little early on the warnings, but I need to wait before I tell people, hey, it's all clear, because stream delay is a thing.
Right. What do the followers do? So the followers they're in your party if you get into a random encounter. But for instance, Pukin, the pumpkin enemy, or pumpkin companion that we got, is what's allowing us to even damage this part of the boss. And then the other guy, Mustafa, he allowed us to get into this palace and will slow down the second form of the boss. Alright, that should be it for the flashing again for a little bit.
Yeah, no, it is no joke when we warn you and say, hey, this game has flashing lights, be careful.
Yeah, I try to make sure that I put that up in any marathon kind of situation that I run this game.
Yeah.
Because it's bad. There's the best line coming up here. Always make a big deal out of everything. Maybe she can talk Sabaron to death. Best line in the game from a character that we do not even pick up. He's one of the two that we skip in chapter 2.
I just enjoy that, like, over the chapters, you've just been getting a larger and larger group of just arbitrary followers.
Oh yeah, and
on every
they get to the point where they can't even fit on there. Like some of them have to fly behind it, and every chapter, in between every chapter, they get their little chance to say something. And honestly, the characters in this game are pretty good. We unfortunately don't really get to spend a lot of time with them, but some of them are pretty cool. In fact, like in chapter 1, it's not really worth trying to fight one of the random encounters until you get access to Farouk, the first companion that we picked up. Because he hits twice per turn, and he deals a ton of damage, and in that first chapter, the hero is just pathetic. Yeah, we do a little bit of grinding to the right of the first town in chapter 2 because those enemies give you 10 experience each. It's a little bit easier. So there's a grind here. If this were, a place where you had donations and stuff, this would be a good place to read them. Because this grind is going to take 2.5 minutes, maybe. We need both experience and money here, so...
I do actually have a few announcements while you do that grind, then.
Awesome.
So, because Mercy Kill ran a little late, we didn't do our usual full show intro, but just a reminder that your subs, gift subs, Amazon Prime subs, bits cheered, all that good stuff, all of your support on the GDQ Twitch channel helps supports our weekly hotfix content, whether it's my show, Sky Bills with Mercy Killer, Random Number Generator, or any other shows in between. We really, really do appreciate you supporting our shows and supporting our content. And if you missed any of the runs from AGDQ 2021 online, or maybe you just want to watch any previous hotfix shows, maybe you want to see my last few episodes of Never Before Seen, maybe you want to catch up on That's Never Happened Before, or any of our other shows, you can go to youtube.com/gamesdonequick and check out the archive of our live shows. And my personal announcement that I like to make is if you enjoyed the virtual crowd from AGDQ 2021, or maybe you missed out on it, go to gamesdonequick/crowd and these wonderful little velocity cat controls them. It is the best way to watch GDQ in my opinion. So definitely check that out if that is your if that is your jam. There we go. But I also want to thank SynthPop for submitting this game because I haven't had a whole lot of NES games submitted to the show so far. Which, as a reminder, if you do want to submit to the show, if you happen to run a game that has never before been seen in a mainline GDQ event, so that is AGDQ, SGDQ, or GDQx, take a look at the NBS command that I just posted in chat via MoveUp. Click that link, and that will give you my submission form, and that will allow you to submit the show. I have a handful of content that I've had submitted that I have lined up for everyone, but I'm always happy to have more submissions. I can read you on a I want to do this episode basis. But that said, SynthPop, what do you run any other games, or is what else do you do besides speedrunning? Tell the chat a little bit about yourself.
I pretend to speedrun several other games. I have terrible times in Super Mario World and Super Mario 3. I am the uncontested world record holder in like 8 Carmen Sandiego games, so if you want to maybe grab a world record, go beat one of those times. Because I think only one of those boards actually has anybody else on it. But, you know, mostly I think of myself as a variety streamer. I'm grinding way past the experience that I need because I need more money. These guys just aren't dropping money like they're supposed to. Okay, this should be enough. But yeah, you know, I try and play things what I call, like, casually fast. You know, you could sit down with some friends, and if they didn't know that you speedran it, you know, you could beat Mario 3 in 12 minutes or whatever and impress them a little bit, you know, that kind of thing. And it just gives me something to do when I'm not playing my kind of normal long-form stuff. Right now on my stream, I'm supposed to be going through Lennis 2, the sequel to Paladin's Quest, and Ultima 7 Part 2, but I've mostly just been playing this and Mega Man 2, doing speedruns and stuff for a while. Should get back into those other things, though.
Like, actually, I'm gonna ask Chad a question. So a lot of people draw comparisons to Zelda for this game, and a lot of people seem to have grown up with this game. What's your favorite Zelda, but not actually Zelda game? That's what I'm curious about, chat. Like, my favorite not actually Zelda game is probably a tie between, like, Star Fox Adventures and Swords of the Cursed Mummy, which are very blatantly, like, 3D adventure Zelda clones, so sort of like Ocarina of Time. Like, Star Fox Adventures definitely pulled inspiration, like the devs have gone on the record as it, but curious what the rest of chat thinks.
Yeah, I was gonna say if Vonnie Von's still out there, I know Newtopia is his answer. That's pretty obvious. Here we're gonna be changing to Fighter. For story reasons, but I'm doing this before doing some shopping in this chapter so that we can get discounts at the shop here. I'm going to be buying 10 breads and what I can of other stuff. I've got $2.90 to go with. I'm going to get one of these for a discount. They call it a discount, but I'm pretty sure since we're the fighter, I think we're threatening this shopkeeper. If you're the magician and you ask for a discount, he won't give it to you. And the only reason I can think of for that is that you're threatening him. We're going to buy 3 carpets, 2 for this chapter and 1 for the next one. We're going to buy... Oh, fantastic. Okay, we're going to buy 2 mashers. We're going to buy another RC, because I happen to have enough left over for it. That'll be useful. Alright. So this part of the chapter, we've just gone 3,000 years into the past so that we can kill the boss of this chapter when it's a baby. Because if you go there in the present, it's too powerful, you can't even damage it. Yeah, that's right. It's an intimidate roll, not a threaten exactly.
Oh my god, that emote of his angry face.
Yeah, the angry emote. I love it so much. It's so good. We're gonna cast this spell. It's every 7th encounter, or every 8th encounter we'll get into, but all the other 7 out of the 8 we'll skip. And we're just going up to this town to get the next companion, then we're going to do a couple carpet rides to change back to Magician, and we'll go. I don't know of a place where the Magician can actually get a discount. I'm not sure. Have a good night, MTI. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. Yes, but it's a big giant fire monster, so I don't feel too bad about it. Maybe I should. So you talk to this guy. His name is Rainy. He's a rain shrimp. He has a rain drum that he hits to make it rain. Okay. If you say yes to either of those questions, he says, okay, we should just stay here. And you're like, okay, let's stay here. And then it's a game over.
It reminds me of like, there's a couple of moments in the Paper Mario series where you can just like say no or like choose the wrong thing and it just leads to a game over instantly.
Yep. Yeah, that's the one of the but thou must kind of things, except that it's not a but thou must, it's the thou art a fool moment, right? From Dragon Warrior 1. So we're going back to lava now. Just change class back to magician. Gonna go to lava and walk to the boss. Find a shrimp that makes it rain in a lake of lava. Yep, that's true. For sure. It's the last companion that we got before coming to this place, right before going through the time door that lets us jump into the lava. His name is Goobibi. That's, I believe, all you need him for, is just to be able to get in air so that you can get Rainy, and then Rainy makes the boss beatable. I'm gonna use this R-seed here to make me invisible and invincible and allow me to walk on water. This jump is makeable, but I'm not risking it. Not on GDQ.
I actually am genuinely impressed that they have like a jump mechanic in the game at all, like on the overworld.
Oh yeah, and it's so useful. If you go watch the task that was created by our Barbly... Oh wait, flashing lights warning coming up.
No, thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, so if you go watch that task, the main character is just jumping around all over the place because there's that hidden grid that I was talking about before, and if you jump at the right time, I don't know if you can see there, like I'm skipping forward a couple of pixels, saving a frame per pixel, and we're gonna walk off into the water here. So it's doing that constantly and everywhere that it possibly can, including even like snapping to trees and stuff by walking in weird patterns and stuff, like on the edges of screens, just to save frames and stuff. It's a very useful mechanic. Unfortunately, for like humans, doing too much of that, trying to snap around and stuff, isn't going to really work. Alright, there's going to be 2 more magicians coming up, and then the boss fight. So the next screen is a flashing lights warning.
For those of you who are photosensitive and are just joining us, be aware that boss fights in this game have prolonged periods of flashing lights.
Yes, including this next screen.
If you can deal with smaller screens of flashing lights, just a tiny corner of your screen, you can always do picture-in-picture. I'm doing that to be able to keep track of what's going on. Picture-in-picture just makes it way more, it makes it more stomachable. Stomachable? That's not a word.
It works. And then the boss fight is this next screen, and it's going to be flashing for a while. Like, possibly 6 to 7 minutes.
Yeah, so this is a very, very long 6 to 7 minute warning.
It's just this boss fight is a nightmare, and hopefully we can beat it. We got a couple of things working against us in this fight. One is the randomness of this boss's movement. The other is that it deals damage to us, quite a bit of damage that, we only have so much healing that we can do. And the other is that Rainy only has so much MP.
Yeah, less nauseating is probably the right words. And also, if you're on PC, you can pop out the player and make it smaller that way if you prefer.
Yep, this is Salamander, who is not being a Palamander, and is a little baby that we're trying to shoot in the face. Every time it goes back into the fire field and has to get summoned out by Rainy, it regains 50 HP, so we're doing 16 damage to it. We need to be able to do at least 4 hits per cycle in order to make progress against it. That is the first cycle where we actually did make progress. There's really nothing that you can do. There's no manip that we're aware of yet. What would be nice is if we could get up into that area where Rainy is right now and attack it from the left, because you could just stand there. It doesn't move up and down. You could just stand in one spot and take this thing out in 2 cycles or something like that every time. Which cat is cute? Or good? We've got 2 cats. They're both good.
Oh my god, the face of this boss.
I know. It's so ridiculous.
Like, the smile just looks silly? It doesn't look intimidating, it just looks silly.
Yeah. It's just a little baby. It just wants to play. And we're shooting it in the face.
Oh my god.
Because it's a fire demon, so whatever. Alright, or at least did not lose ground against it. We're getting close. 2 rounds of 6 hits probably would do it. More rounds of fewer hits. Oh, all of the artwork in the original is super goofy. Yeah, it is the same sprite, but I think in the Japanese version of the game, Arabian Dream Scheherazade, which is very different from this version, it's like its whole face is a hitbox instead of one tile above its middle eye. Okay. Come on. I don't remember how many rounds worth of MP Rainy will have, but hopefully we're not running up to... okay, well, I say things and then bad things happen, so I'm just gonna stop.
I'm starting to understand why you said towards the beginning of the run that Chapter 4 is the chapter everyone hates.
Oh yeah. This is the worst thing in the entire game, by a wide margin. For speedrunning and casually. There's a lot of, I mean, it's really easy to get here and, you know, just not have enough preparation for it or something like that. And dying here is a huge pain. Because, you know, when you die, you refill your HP. Your companions do not refill their MP. So if, you know, you've gone through more than half of Rainy's MP and you die there, you have to go back to a town and stay at a hotel and go all the way back through that palace and all that kind of mess. But in any case, Salamander is dead. We've rescued King Faisal, so we've got 3 of the princesses and King Faisal. We're off to not a new world this time. We're going to stay in the Flower World Celestern for Chapter 5. Because we went back in time to kill Salamander when it was a baby. Now things have changed.
Are we out of the Flashing Lights territory?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
we are for now.
Okay.
Alright, this is the final companion we're gonna get. You just come in here to the first town in this chapter, pick him up, and you're good to go. Now, up until... what was it the beginning of 2020? One of our Barbaloot or Aaron2U2 can correct me on this. I don't even like what is time anymore. So, in this chapter, you used to have to go into the past through a maze to pick up a sword that would then let you get the armor upgrade for this chapter, which would then let you go into the final palace. As a result of the second task that our Barbaloot created, he found a way to skip that entire first part of that. So we don't have to go to the past, we don't have to go all the way through this long maze twice. We can instead just go get straight to the armor. Late March 2020? Okay, that sounds right. But first we're going to go to this town, going to walk into the town and walk right out so that we can get it as a target for a carpet, so we can carpet back here after getting the armor. And it's a fun little trick. I like it. It looks neat. Normally, you're not going to see much of it the way that I do it, especially now, because I'm going to have the Rupia seed on. But basically, we're going to walk on some water and do some wiggly water crap to just not have to create this bridge. It's really one of the... there's like two skips in the whole game. And this is by far the best one. So normally you're supposed to take the sword to those 2 trees right there. And it'll create a bridge. But instead, we can do this And we're just kind of, there we go. Just kind of slowly inching down the screen. That saves about 4.5 minutes, something like that, yeah. Call it the Legend Sword Skip. Instead we pick up the light armor, which is what we actually need in order to get into the palace. And that halves our damage input again. So we're taking 25% of the damage that we would have without any of the armors.
Oh yeah, I had to double check. This game came out the same year as Zelda 2, but Zelda 1 came out a year before this, originally in Japan.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure what the release date is for Arabian Dream Scheherazade, but yeah, this is 1989. So this is definitely one of those things like Newtopia that is a heavy influence on Zelda 1. It's got time travel shenanigans, so of course it's actually able to influence a game that came out before it. I have a special treat for anybody who's familiar with Newtopia 2, because there is an actual, legitimate, possible inspiration for that game at the end of this one. So this is just another little maze. This one's actually quite extensive, and we would have to go all the way through this once, past where we go into the final palace, in order to get into that maze. And then we'd have to go out, go do that Legends, or go get the armor, and then come back all the way through this. Right here is the university. If you go in there, they're like, oh, I bet you thought I was going to give you something because you passed one of these classes, and they don't actually give you the thing. But instead, go here. I need to be at 11,300 experience by the end of this palace. Shouldn't be too hard. I think we're in good shape for it. Except that nothing is showing up for me to fight. So that's always fun. Might have to do a little bit of a grind. These guys do give a lot of experience, so I'm feeling pretty good about that at least. Oh, it's because I had the spell up. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, flashing lights warning here. Sorry, I missed that one. I knew it was going to happen. That's why I tried to make sure that we had one up on screen. Alright, and if you're worried about, like, actual story spoilers for this game, maybe look away for a little bit, because Sabaron is in the next room. And he tells us, oh my gosh, I've made a terrible mistake. I let loose this horrible monster, and I am not strong enough to beat it. So now you have to break the spell. Who is the princess who's been with you the whole time? And like I said at the beginning, we have to remember our good friend Coronia, the time spirit. So we type in Coronia. And it turns out that she was actually Scheherazade in disguise. She gives us the final rod upgrade, which is quite a nice one, actually.
looks a little blue.
Yeah. Sabaron, yeah, he's been holding his breath, I think. Coronia. Okay. All right. There is going to be a little bit of flashing again coming up in 2 screens. Turn that wizard into a hamburger and then shoot him with the rod, and he goes away. The evil wizard guy had turned her into the time cat. Oh, what a terrible... Should we do a fight? Let's do a fight. Why not? It'll be fun. Yeah, let's go ahead. No. Fight. Let's, so there might be some flashing here too. Just a quick warning on that. This may have been a terrible decision.
Stuff that y'all skip, because y'all escape these encounters.
Yeah, usually. Okay. Ah, jeez. I mean, at this point, I think, yeah, I'm still gonna run. Sorry about that. I thought that was one that we could get through pretty quickly, but you know, we don't ever fight them, so I wasn't quite sure. In any case, this little maze, if you go the wrong way, the maze changes color, so it's pretty easy to figure out eventually. I'm gonna heal up a little bit too. That's true, and I didn't lose a bread or anything. It was a little close, and I don't have a death to spare, so.
Thank you for at least attempting to show off part of the game that is not shown in the speedrun usually.
Yeah, no problem. We're coming up on the final boss room and everything. There's going to be a lot of flashing from here on out. I'm going to try and do this in one cycle. I got 2 extra mushrooms just in case. So the trick is you walk left and cast this spell, just spam this spell 5 times.
yes, in classic
Nope.
final boss fashion in this era, multiple faces or heads.
Not quite. Yeah, and the reason that you have to walk left, this guy just kind of floats towards you. And if you get into the center of that middle mouth, he'll eat you and you just die. And time is coming up on the next hit, by the way. It should be now.
Nice.
Okay. Trying to think. I believe that is, again, the end of the flashing.
Gotta wait a few seconds before I tell, that they're good. By the way, that was a 1:12:12.
Okay. Fair enough. My PB is a 102 something. But, you know, we got stuck in fights, and that's why we put up a 115 estimate. If you don't mind, I would like to showcase off the end of this game, because there's some silly stuff coming up.
Yeah,
And I still haven't gotten to the Newtopia 2 inspiration.
that's totally fine. While you go through this, if you want to go ahead and do any shout-outs or, tell chat where they can find you or anything like that.
Yeah, I'll do that in just a second.
Absolutely.
So you get to talk to the princesses, and then the king, and in the most just kind of hilarious move ever, as long as the mysterious world calls me, I will continue my journey. So you just leave the princess behind. She's been with you the whole time. She's the only companion that's been with you the whole time. And you're like, I'm gonna leave her now. Let's go, all of you other people that I just met, and some of whom I didn't even meet. Let's jump on this carpet and go away. So that's, yeah, just silliness. Yeah, I'd like to give some shout-outs to my community, the people from my community that are here, Vani Von, Aaron 2U2, Little Anari, R Barbalud, Sath Dresh, Vesper Vidya, Shahali 9. Really hoping I didn't miss anybody else. Thank you all so much for supporting me and making sure that I was at least vaguely ready to do this. Yeah, also CT187, who's the original creator of the randomizer. You know, if you thought this game looked interesting, please give it a try. You can find links to Discord, I believe, on the SRC page. Well, the time door will open again soon. There was supposed to be a sequel to this game, and unfortunately, it never got made. And that is the inspiration that Newtopia 2 took. RIP
Oh, wow.
Newtopia 3. And then one final little bit of silliness. Culture Brain presents. Not the end. Not any of that fanciness. Just end. Who needs articles? Yeah, there are
Culture Brain
guides
presents
up there on the SRC page. Yes, CT187 was here too, that's true. And yeah, so thanks everybody. Thank you, Amber, very much for approving this game and letting me come on here and do this. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it was my pleasure to have you on board. Flashing lights aside, like, I think this run is actually really interesting, especially given its sort of like genre hybridization and it's like the parallels that you can draw with it with Zelda and other games and Dragon Warrior, so on and so forth. It was just really interesting to watch. So, like, thank you so much for submitting it and for being on the show.
Oh, absolutely. It's been a blast. Like I said before, you know, there is a randomizer. We're working on getting, like, you know, whole big old proper release of it out. And hopefully, even if you end up not running the base game, you'll consider running the randomizer, because we're trying to get flash reduction in there so that it won't make people's eyes bleed.
Yeah, that flash reduction is probably the one thing this game needs. If it ever got released on a virtual console or something, or, you know, a re-release on anything, it would probably have that flash reduction. But,
yeah,
unfortunately, on original hardware, it just does not have that.
right. Yeah,
But,
it does need it. It needs that, and it needs Salamander to be less of a jerk.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But, thanks again for being on the show, and we have one more run for you tonight. It's going to be Valkyria Chronicles by Alexis Goes Moo. We're going to have Aeon Frodo on for commentary for that. And as a reminder, that your subs, all your support, your gift subs, your Amazon Prime subs, if you have Prime Gaming, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel will help support our weekly hotfix content. So if you want to see more Never Before Seen episodes, go ahead and keep supporting our shows, even if it's just telling your friend to come watch or anything like that. And we really, really appreciate all of your continued support. Thank you very much. And if you did miss any of the runs from AGDQ 2021 online, or if you maybe missed this run and you want to watch it with the other hotfix shows that we have, check out our YouTube channel. That's going to be youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. Hi, YouTube. And check out an archive of our live shows. So we're going to go ahead and cut to a break, and we'll be right back with the Valkyria Chronicle. So stay tuned.
Bye.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to episode 7 of Never Before Seen. My name is AmberCyprian. I am your host tonight as we bring you one more game tonight. This is going to be another speedrun of a game that has never before been seen in mainline GDQ events. As always, a reminder, if you happen to speedrun a game that has never been run in an AGDQ, SGDQ, or GDQx event, and you'd like to submit it to the show, type !NBS into the chat, which I'm going to type for you now, to find a link to be able to send me your runs, and I would love to have you. Alternatively, if you are a fan of a person who runs a game, or a friend of a person who runs a game that has never before been seen on GDQ, send them my way. Send that link to them and tell them about the show. I love having more submissions coming in. So we're gonna move on to another hybrid genre game. This one is Valkyria Chronicles, and I'm very, very excited to have Alexis Goes Moo and Aeon Frodo on board to be able to show this run off. So go ahead and introduce yourselves, and we'll go ahead and get the run going.
Hello.
Yeah, so I'm Aeon Frodo, and Alexis over here is very good at this game.
I've played it a lot. Alright, is my mic working? Okay,
Yeah.
That's good.
So, Valkyria Chronicles is basically like a, how do I describe it? It's like, if you played XCOM before, it's a bit similar to that. But it's got some of its own mechanics in it. But that's like the closest comparison I can make.
Alright. So I'm gonna give a countdown now. 3, 2, 1, go.
So the prologue chapter here is actually kind of difficult in terms of you barely have any resources, and you gotta get A rank in this chapter to mainly for the experience and the money you get. So in this first chapter, we're only gonna we have 3 units. We have Welkin and Alicia. They're the main characters of the game. And we also have this random watchman with us, and we're actually going to use the watchman. So the watchman is not as good as Alicia and Welkin, but he does some victory animations. So yeah, Alexis is going through the tutorials and all that stuff. And as you can see, this is like a strategy RPG / third-person shooter. This tutorial here tells us you'll hit somewhere within the reticle, and that's where the infamous hexagon sort of thing comes into where while you might be aiming straight towards the enemy, not all your shots are going to aim dead center, and it can ruin some runs. So I'm assuming Alexis is going to take some safety strats here in order to not reset or have to load a save.
We're gonna run really close to everyone.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if we miss and we don't get an A rank, we will not be able to level up during chapter 3.
Yeah, the A rank is pretty strict, yeah.
That's the hard chapter over.
Ooh, we're gonna have to reset.
And sadly, between every mission, we're gonna have to do book mode, which is just like a minute of mashing.
Yeah, book mode is closely related to the plot of the game. There's actually a character in the game that writes this book, and it's basically about following Welkin and Squad 7. So it's actually kind of cool actually seeing this character in the game, as well as like having the story being told in that fashion. Even though it does like take a bit of time in the speedrun.
Yeah, another thing, this is actually only a few months old. We recently found that English is faster than Japanese.
My turn, okay?
Yeah, so yeah, I don't have any game audio on my end, but I'm assuming you're playing with English voices.
Yeah, it's so new to me.
Enemy unit
I played
spotted!
this game for a few thousand hours in Japanese.
Enemy unit spotted!
Yeah. Oh yeah, the game doesn't tell you this, but Alicia has a grenade that you can actually throw into this enemy right here, and that instantly kills the scout, and also triggers the oncoming cutscene. So,
This is the first enemy phase.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so you might be wondering why Alexis is playing on the PS4 version despite the game having a PC port and other ports that may be faster. PS4 is actually the fastest version of this game. As far as we know, we haven't been able to test the PS5 yet. But, yeah. PS4 is currently the fastest version of the game. Mainly because of the loads and stuff, I believe.
Yeah, I did a lot of testing in December, and the PC version of the game, dots are a lot less
Ready to
accurate.
go.
So a few of the strats I'm going to be doing tonight just would effectively not be possible in arcade if we were playing on PC. It also uses like over.
That's actually really interesting.
Yeah, I learned it the hard way doing like random test runs for PC because we had a load remover.
Yeah, funny for me, I always played on the PS4 version and always played on with English voices, so I had no idea I was using the fastest settings of the game. But yeah, apparently somehow I knew, but not really. So chapter 2 here, the old shirt used to have us wait here for a while, but the thing is about chapter 2 here, it's actually faster to kill these two enemies with the command point. Command points are basically the turns that we have within each round, and there's actually certain things that will use more than one command point, which we'll go into a little bit later. Speaking of PS4 Pro, it actually runs the same as the normal PS4, so this game is actually really super accessible on PS4. Wow! Did that just happen?
Yeah, we were pretty close to
So yeah, that's the infamous XCOM aiming. So if you have if you were like dead on to that guy, like yeah, you can somehow still miss him despite being dead on. It's not Alexis's fault. It is completely RNG.
Yeah, the circle is very big. When basically every time we're going to shoot in this game. Now we get a watch. Thankfully, it's one of the very few times in the month we actually have to watch.
I have played XCOM before, but I haven't played Valkyria Chronicles. I've seen Valkyria Chronicles. First off, its aesthetic is great, but I think one of my favorite images on the internet is an XCOM like parody title screen that says "X, come on, how did I miss that?" And I've got a feeling that there are going to be moments like that with this game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the funny things about it is we try to avoid shooting enemies so we can avoid missing. Like, we're not going to engage many people.
Ideally, yeah.
Also, we saved 10 seconds because that scout's hit by the first bullet on turn 1. Did not
That's nice.
go on fire back then.
Yeah, at least they'll make up time for misses that you had when it died.
Oh, the Watchman was good this time. My practice against the Watchman consistently was dying, which is pretty rare actually.
Yeah, so the antagonist of the game has arrived.
Entering
That's welcome in the
combat.
tank. So one of the things that take up more than one command point is driving the air device. And the biggest thing about the air device, particularly on the PC version, is that tank controls are really bad on the PC version. I do not know why, but I think it has to do with camera controls.
Yeah, the PC tank is really, really hard. And I'll probably... This will make more sense when we get later in the run.
Here
but
we
I'm
go!
convinced the tank literally moves slower.
Oh yeah, so this is where Welcome may show that he's the antagonist here. If he misses the, he can miss the backside of this tank a lot. Luckily, Alexis has driven it closer to prevent that from happening. But if I had moments where
Here we go!
I hit the gate twice and that automatically loses the mission.
Yeah,
Fire!
So,
I've seen
yeah.
that. Vulcan can zig it over.
yeah.
As someone has mentioned that they like the comic book style, like written out sound effects, and
Yeah.
honestly, that is probably my favorite part of the aesthetic of this
We'll
game.
get some funny ones later in the run. Anyway, time for a 3-minute menu. This is like when the tutorial of the game ends. So the game
Yeah, this
opens
is-
up a little.
Yeah, this menu is kind of intense too, as well. So ideally, we want to see 3 male shock troopers, Wavy or Nancy, Field or Yoko or both, and 1 engineer and Marina. Marina or Catherine. Marina, best possible option for the sniper. We need these units for the run. Oh, you got Catherine.
Hello?
But yeah, so once we select our shock troopers, we go up the menu from snipers onwards.
Alright, that was decent. Field only can be scary, but I'm sure I'll be fine.
Stream on mine dropped a little bit. Did you get Yoko or Field in that?
But yeah, Field.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Gal, or Marina.
I saw Catherine though. But yeah, this is the main reason why we want the experience from the A ranks from the prologue and all that. We cannot get all the upgrades here. And also that Drill Sergeant there is voiced by Bender from Futurama. So yeah, we mainly upgrade our levels and here, and this is a really important ore that we get here called Defense Boost. For those who have seen the run in other marathons, like maybe you know what happens, but Defense Boost is a very probably the most used order in the run.
We're gonna use Defense Boost a lot, starting Chapter 4. We're mostly just going to R&D because it's on the way. We have to visit all of these in the game. We'll let us exit this.
Yeah, you're forced to upgrade something. You might force to come here, so you might as well upgrade something while we're here.
Alright, almost time for our first deployment. Just a few more book mode tutorials. I will say, after running the sequel in this game, it's very relieving to have way less tutorials. At least
I
each
haven't
of us a lot of tutorials.
Right, I haven't played 2, so I wouldn't know. But I have played 4 and seen 3. Thanks to Devon, who unfortunately couldn't make it.
And now we get to watch
Split into 2 teams,
every
offensive
single
and
mission.
defensive. Squad 7,
Yeah,
move out.
In Valkyria 4, we could skip these cutscenes, but not in the first game. Yeah, so this mission is not too long.
Roger that.
We just select our male shopkeeper, which happens to be Kevin. I'm very disappointed we didn't get a certain shopkeeper.
I see
It's
another
a big
great
number of reviews.
Yeah. Sadly, this is not Medium Plus. Alex is the
If we got Alex,
see
he's
an enemy.
actually voiced by the former voice of Sonic the Hedgehog, so... Unfortunately,
Roger Craig Smith?
yes. And it sounds
Oh,
exactly
man.
like Sonic. It's actually really funny.
Yeah.
And this was before he was Sonic as well, so absolutely hilarious.
I think the same is true of like Resident Evil 5 because he also voiced Chris Redfield in that game.
Yeah, but he sounds nothing like Sonic. In this game, he sounds exactly like Sonic. It's actually really funny.
Really good chapter 3. I got the so there's the animation after they kill a unit. You can sometimes skip them if you don't go for headshots. It like increases the chances. I actually got that in chapter 3.
Yeah, that's really cool. Also, Alexis didn't get the unlucky grenade bounce, which you can sometimes get.
Yeah. We got lucky with that. There's some weird physics in this game, especially.
Yeah. Also, Alexis skipped a bonus episode. If you watch them, you just lose time just because you watch them. Anyway, this is where the shenanigans truly begin in this run.
Take down the bridgehead as quickly as possible. Squad 7, move out.
Yep, and it'll be the first time we use an order. This mission changed a while back. We used to use a scout here, but scouts will be delayed another chapter because engineers are 20 seconds faster.
Yeah, engineers faster. That's true. But yeah, so
This is an order.
first I'm going to use defense boost, so
Brace up
the
and
engineer can
get ready
survive.
to
Engineers are
defend
quite
yourself.
squishy, so we need to heal them up. But fortunately, if they lose a lot of health, they have the maximum amount of healing. So each unit has some weapons and support items they can use, depending on what class they are. So engineers have a gun, a grenade, 3 grenades on them actually, and Ragnite, the large Ragnite, and the large Ragnite heals a lot.
Yeah, that's the heals for more HP than any of our early engineers right now.
Yeah, so Alexis was in a really good spot, but unfortunately our shock trooper did not shoot that back for a little while.
Now we have to hopefully run into. If this doesn't work, we'll okay.
All right. Enemy spot. Don't nail me down.
So yeah, because the engineer has grenades, we're able to just abuse grenade throws instead of shooting the enemy while they crouch. While they crouch, they have a lot of defense, a lot more defense than usual. Yeah, and that was very close as well.
Yeah, it's a little faster to change your weapon with square when you're not entering aim mode, but you take more damage that way, and I would very likely died if I did that.
Yeah, sometimes it's best to go into aim mode in order to preserve your HP.
Yeah, that's another thing that I learned about playing on PC. That chapter is really, really risky on PC.
Oh, someone in the chat mentioned the spin-off. Yes, there is a spin-off that we don't really talk about.
Yeah. It's the only game in the series that doesn't have a run, if anyone wants to do it. Now we get to start using scouts a bunch. We're just going to deploy some units for extra CP. We mentioned that in Chapter 2. Certain people are leaders and they give you extra CP. In this map, we're going to need every CP we have. First, we're going to use defense boost.
Brace up and get ready to defend
we're gonna
yourself.
run past like 3 shock troopers.
My turn, okay?
I should.
Yeah, so
You don't want to step on that.
Yeah, you definitely want to step on that.
Enemy unit spotted.
Although in this game, landmines can be beneficial, but we'll talk about that later.
Enemy
Not
unit
at all.
spotted.
Yeah.
Depending.
My turn, okay?
Oh, help us a little bit.
But yeah, Alicia is probably one of the
Enemy
strongest
unit spotted.
scouts, if not the strongest scout in the game. She's pretty bulky for a scout, and she is a leader character as well. She has command point.
Yeah, and she's also fortunate to be the
My
first
turn,
character
okay?
on the list.
Enemy
units,
sighted.
So she's the fastest in anything.
Please hit.
Nice bounce.
Enemy unit spotted.
And
So are you gonna do
make a
safety save here?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So
This
this
is a little
chapter.
risky.
Yeah, this chapter is definitely prone to resets, mainly because of.
My turn, okay?
So Alicia has to. She's already used up her grenade. She only has 1 grenade as a scout.
Please hit.
She has to hit this guy 10 times in 3 rounds, and unfortunately Alexis missed.
Yeah.
Nearly all shots.
That was
so.
not a good round.
Moving
So
out.
let's see what happens in second one.
Enemy unit spotted. Please hit.
Okay, nice.
So
Moving
we're
out.
on PS4, so I have confidence in Alicia.
Nice work.
We're gonna be careful and save again. Just in case. these shock troopers, they can be mean.
Yeah, they can just morally you down. So
My turn, okay?
yeah, definitely.
Can't beat the smell of fresh soil. Now!
And you need 4 shots in their head in order to kill them.
Yeah. I believe that's one of the reasons
My
we have to
turn,
upgrade
okay?
the weapon.
Yeah.
Now!
Oh, then watch out.
Yeah, usually in this chapter you have to worry about one of the main villains. His name is Jaeger. We don't have to worry about him. We don't really fight him until one of the final chapters in the game,
Yeah.
so it's kind of funny. We just avoid him.
You reminded me that he's even there. I kind of forget about him.
Yeah, he doesn't exist in this chapter.
I guess that's our
Actually.
first boss, but we kind of just ran past him.
So if anyone has played this game, this is not the infamous desert mission, that's the next one.
Yes.
This desert mission is definitely a lot easier though.
Yes, this is probably one of the easiest missions, actually.
The enemies spread out through the desert region. Squad
You have
7,
to just
move
run
out.
in a really, really long straight line. But first, defense base. Because we will guarantee
This is an
die
order.
if we do not use it here. We don't do it in
Brace up
Union
and get
Plus,
ready
and
to
this is
defend
still
yourself.
like we have to use Alicia because her health. Like other units will probably
My
die.
turn, okay?
We're also gonna heal probably twice.
Enemy
We're
unit
safe.
spotted! Enemy
It's
sighted!
that way.
Please stay behind cover as you proceed.
Yeah, I know chat has pointed out some of the consoles this game is on. This game is on a lot of
Enemy
consoles
sighted!
being re-released over the years. The original
Yeah.
console came out on this PS3 back in 2008.
Yep. And then like the most recent release I
My
think
turn,
is
okay?
the Windows version, which is
Enemy sighted!
a bit different than the Steam version. At least for the speed run too.
How's it different?
Damage output and then like the D is like a little higher. And then the D-pad doesn't work.
Oh, that's sad.
Moving out!
Oh, unfortunately. I'm gonna heal even though this is good HP. Just in case. So next we're gonna grenade that shock
My
trooper.
turn, okay?
This is the first time I'm really gonna aim a grenade instead of like just launch it at them. We're gonna be doing that a lot throughout the run to make them go outside the sandbags. If they're not inside the base, the game just bounces this one. Alright. That's just about the early game. A little slow.
This next chapter though
Yeah.
is very involved.
Yeah, we're gonna get to like the most steps of any chapter in this game. But first, 2 minutes of anime. The longest in the game that doesn't include cutscenes. But we have to get a lot of important things.
Yeah, there's a very big menu coming up as well. Back in the day, Nitrogen actually routed this menu out with the. Oh, are you trying to get Yoko?
Yeah.
That's understandable.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Yoko. Yeah, there's a chance that Yoko isn't there, which is unfortunate, but you can deal without Yoko, right?
Yeah. We'll have to. We may or may not have to safety save depending on anti-armor block rates.
Yeah. So, this menu was originally thought out by Nitrodon. Basically, it prevents a lot of pop-ups coming up on different level ups, so they'll all pop up on the same level up group in order to do that. So it was very really good menu routing to just upgrade all your classes in that sort of sense.
Level ups were figured out a long time ago. There's like a slight change in the mid game that happened a while ago, but it's very bad. It's very the same.
Yeah.
Alright, and we got the action boost. That's a very good order.
Yeah, that's the most important thing we need to get for this mission as well.
Now we're just gonna upgrade everything that we're gonna use in the run, except for Lancers, because that's important.
Yeah.
If you upgrade Lancers too much, the run will be not.
Yeah. For this particular upcoming mission, it's best that you only upgrade them once, and there's a very good reason why that will explain the upcoming mission. We also don't upgrade grenades at all. Like their explosion radius is good enough for the entire round.
We only really want them to knock people out, so the damage is kind of much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and play with because trying to increase the tanks accuracy.
Yes, and that's very important. Considering how notorious Welkin can be.
Now we're on the chat.
Yeah.
So there's a big tank, and gonna move it for a couple turns, and then we're gonna go and take it out.
That tank is our target. We have to stop it. Squad 7, move out!
These are some characters we won't see in person for a really, really long time.
I can do that.
Well, Max will be here for a little bit
Yeah,
though.
this is here.
Yeah, so this is like probably the most infamous mission in the game. A lot of people who play this game get stuck on this mission, understandably so.
Roger that.
Yeah, it's not a very good mission.
So Alexis is mainly taking out these enemies just so that the enemy turn doesn't last a decade. Enemy turns in this game can last a very long time, so
Yeah.
ideally we want to take out these enemies.
If we left everyone alive, it'd be like a minute every time. Like more than a minute.
Yeah, especially because
Your orders?
one big thing that the PC version has over PS4 is that the enemy turns are a lot faster.
Yeah. If it weren't for the fact that we avoid them so much, PC would probably be the faster version. Last thing we need to do is hide our engineer. Because the tank is going to come right towards them. And now, about a minute and a half of waiting.
Yeah, so during this minute and a half, we're waiting for 3 turns. Maximilian can order just like that. Waits 10 seconds each time he does it. He can do it up to 3 times. It's very annoying when he does it, especially in the last turn. If anyone's wondering, Maximilian is the main villain of the game, if you can't tell by his royal outfit.
Yeah. That's a very uncomfortable looking crown. I always think about that.
Chat just asked if you lose units for good, like in Fire Emblem XCOM. Yes, you do if they get tagged when they're down. So if if your units hit 0 HP, if they're foot soldiers, and the enemy units run up to them and I call it taggy because it's probably the best way to describe it. Yeah, they die. Unless they lead the units. Lead the units do not die. They can't die.
Yeah. Thankfully, no unit should die.
Permadeath is scary, yo.
It
As
is.
someone who has restarted many an attempt at finishing XCOM because of permadeath. Like, games with permadeath are scary. They're very challenging though, so if you do enjoy challenging video games or runs, like, definitely something for you.
Wow, he had the audacity to order every turn.
It was 3 orders. Good job, Max. Alright, there's the big glowy things. There's 3 of them this time. And if we destroy one, the million will fight them. So we're not gonna let him.
Yeah, so this big thing that we're setting up for is like a really big sequence break in the mission. So
This is an order.
we use demolition boost on the Edelweiss.
Destroying the
It's
target is your top priority.
it's not mortar, is it? No, it's a mortar. Can actually
we
damage
go.
all the radiators by a tiny
Gotta
bit,
love nature.
and it actually is enough
Fire!
for it to work. Okay. And then we have our Lancers here, Largo and Field. They need Tank Slayer though, and this is where the biggest RNG part of the run comes up, where you have to hug the ladder until you get Tank Slayer, or climb up and down the ladders. I also should mention AP, so the orangish yellow bar at the bottom is their movement. So units can only move a certain amount per turn. Scouts have the most movement, and I think snipers have the least movement.
Alright, the first 2 were actually nice. Just have like
They were.
a lot to go.
Waiting here.
I usually have a lot of bad luck with the Largo, so... Oh, wow.
What a good
So, yeah.
game. Just because we have the old little backup isn't really that good with
Yeah, I think you have to go
Save
down
me
the
some
ladder with
glory.
just two Lancers, right?
Yeah, with
Take
if
out a
we get
tank
into
and I'll
armor,
be a
we-
hero.
not good. Hopefully Field's
Yeah, so Field actually has 2 anti-tank abilities, which sounds pretty broken. But we don't want him to activate both of them.
Yeah, because if we do any more damage than we want to,
Check me out.
we will certainly lose. Want to be a little careful. I ran over. Usually you want to like
that oversized tank.
make the journey while you're waiting for tanks to be careful with it.
Yeah, you gotta be careful not to move too far from the ladder.
They're headed that way. Please follow.
Take out a tank and I'll be a hero.
Alright, only 6 more to go.
Yeah, we're depending on a lot of activations here. But it's the fastest way to beat this tank.
Check me out.
And yes, it is absolutely silly.
Yep.
The enemy
Field's gonna
is
give up some
anywhere.
items, I feel like.
There's always that one Lancer that lets you down the first phase, I would say.
Rest easy, Ma. I'm coming home alive.
Take out a tank and I'll be a hero.
And the first phase.
Take this.
Now we're just gonna take out all the radiators.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Gotta love
So,
nature.
because Welcome just does enough damage and has 2 mortar shells, you can just take him out of 1 hit. And it skips a lot of grief, because after you destroy either the first or the second one, Savaria pops up on the battlefield. If you don't know who she is, she's the Valkyria in the game, hence the title of the game. and she can destroy you.
Yeah.
And yeah, and dealing with her casually is not fun while you're trying to destroy this tank.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the map, but right now, like, a whole bunch of units just spawn, including
Yeah.
Solaria.
Yeah, and she can
You see
shoot
it
you
in
from
the
there
corner.
too,
I'll
which
give
is
it a go.
really scary.
Rip Kevin, he's kind of surrounded.
Kevin will be fine.
Check me out.
And engineers, yeah, they can restore ammo. We're gonna have to do that twice in order to get the kill.
Yeah, I believe this is the last time we
Return
use
fire
engineering
tank,
ammo.
and I'll be a...
Yes, this is their second and last round, which is better than before.
Save me some glory.
But yeah, as someone explained in the chat, if you destroy the radiators one at a time, it's you have to wait until Maximilian shoots again in order for it to pop up again. So that's why the sequence break is really huge, and yeah, it saves us dealing with Savaria.
That tank is coming this way.
Take out a tank, and I'll be a... Take this.
Oh yes, and it also works on top of the tank. You may hear Savaria
Save me
charging
some
up
glory.
her spear there.
Yeah, you
In the
can hear it when
background.
I go up the ladders. He's trying.
Try to keep your heads down. We aren't sure of its capabilities. Please be careful. Doesn't it have any weak spots?
Take out a tank, and I'll be a
And
hero.
we're gonna go back down just so we can
Take this.
get our ammunition. We also need the engineer
I'll give
who
it a
splits
go.
in this spot because we don't want the engineer to shoot along with our motor. Their shooting animation is really slow.
Yeah, and
Check me out.
even though it's normally useful, it isn't useful
Take out
at
a
all here.
tank, and I'll be a hero. Take this.
Alright,
Check me
one
out.
more.
Take out a tank, and I'll be a
Oh,
hero.
last door quick.
I'm not a coward.
Yeah, that was very nice. And that's chapter 7. Thank goodness that is over.
Yep. It's the well, this is the longest segment, but a lot of it's
Yeah. And the menu just makes it even longer, so.
And Maximilian does get away, by the way. I will spoil the plot. We will deal
Yeah.
with him in like. Forever.
And Savaria also deflects a tank shell, which is in
Yeah.
a pretty epic cutscene. But yeah, we're going right into another kind of tough mission as well, casually. This is I can't call it a Metal Gear mission. This is meant to be a stealth mission with Welcome and Alicia. Alicia has sprained her ankle, so her movement is very limited during this chapter, unless Welcome heals her with something, with plant, I think. He's very in touch with nature and plants and all that stuff.
Moving out.
We did it. We used Alicia first. Not good if we don't do that.
Yeah, I think even the game suggests you move Alicia first. I'm just like, what?
Yeah,
Enemy sighted.
actually,
Make
it's
the
probably best
intro-
to do the map welcome.
Please hit.
So these, I think most of these enemies have defense down ammo and stuff. Get debuffed.
Yes.
Moving out.
Status debuffs start appearing from this chapter onward, and they're basically in everything. Can cause some problems, but hopefully.
Ready to go.
She's gonna talk to a tree because we need to heal.
Yes, we're actually going to heal her ankle slightly through power of plants. But the thing is, The game expects you to have Vulcan and Alicia right next to each other, but he can heal her from over this hill over here, provided that you're in the right spot. Yeah.
We're gonna park well.
Yeah, just before the bridge. If you go a little bit over the bridge, the enemy movement in the enemy phase can actually change a bit and actually ruin the whole mission. You don't want to get too close.
Alright, we're good. As long as the shock trooper there moves twice, usually means the tournament well.
Yeah.
Now Vulcan's gonna go across.
Ready to go.
There's some searchlights, and we do not want to walk.
Yeah, getting spotted by a searchlight mainly gets a mortar to your direction, and you actually don't want that to happen.
Gotta love nature.
Especially because Alicia's going to go along this path, and she'll die if you
sighted.
especially get spotted by that searchlight. So this upcoming turn is really scary.
Yeah. We're gonna save mostly because of dodge.
Yeah.
But I can also die if I move slightly wrong.
Here we go.
Yeah, so
Enemy
the enemy
sighted.
that is guarding this area is an enemy ace, but we have to take out the scout because the
Take
scout
this.
is like the ace's eyes. If I can say that accurately, because scouts have enhanced vision. As
Yeah.
well.
How it works. Now the scout's dead, that shock trooper won't see Alicia when she comes along.
Yeah.
My turn, okay?
He gets to go on a...
Yeah, and this is where mines become useful. This might be the only mine boost in the game we do. But, yeah, we basically blast her further along the bridge. Thanks to that mine, and it gives us more movement, more distance in our movement.
Yeah, we need to have to make that cycle, because otherwise she's just so slow to hit.
But yeah, they fixed that in 2, I believe.
Yeah, and 2 it's not as good. We do it once in the run. That game has way more missions.
Moving out.
We used to do it twice. Anyway, he's
Enemy
just gonna
sighted.
almost die. I meant like a really fast cycle. A little ahead of where she is.
Enemy sighted. This can't be good.
I'm just
So the
really
shock
glad.
trooper can't see us, but could still kill us. So
Yeah,
we
I'm
do
just
this
very
and there's
amused
no
by.
scout, we're invincible.
I'm just amused by chat's reaction to the mine. Identity.
Pull it together.
And one more turn. Yeah, he's just gonna do nothing because he just do nothing.
They can't see you. You're invisible.
Ready to go.
And now we're gonna just walk into a bunch of lights because their animation isn't gonna go off.
Yeah,
Gotta love
we don't
nature.
care about them at this point.
$30 of Alicia.
Moving
walking.
out.
I think it's better to be spotted by the lights as Vulcan as well, because she has very little momentum. I know.
this is the this is the first chapter that has 2 missions. So this is 8-1, and the next 2.
8-2, yeah.
It should be a shorter mission, but we will see.
Yeah, so in all the routes we used to upgrade the scout to Scout Elite, which is like a promotion. But for this route we do not promote them. So that means for this mission we have less HP, and also we don't have access to rifle grenades, but we can actually deal with this mission without being Scout Elites. So yeah. So the objective here is to get welcome to the air device. The air device is the only thing that can shoot the wall between
Ready to go.
you and the base camp down. So
Yeah.
yeah, welcome to the
Enemy sighted.
getting the tank
Hostile sighted.
to aim it.
Not alone in nature.
It's actually been confirmed in the game's dialogue, so yeah.
Yes. There's this, we'll see it soon. There's a random castle
Ready to go.
that I guess the Imperials decide to use for their base.
I haven't gone too much into the plot of this game, have we? But yeah,
Here we go.
Vulcan and pretty much everyone lives in a small country called Gallia, and they're being invaded by this huge army from the Imperials. They're like a superpower basically, and yeah, they're pretty deadly. And they basically want the Ragnite from them, because Ragnite powers everything in this world, like from tanks to all sorts of things.
Speaking of Vulcan, hopefully he hits this wall with this.
Yes, sometimes you can hit the sniper, right?
Yeah, we're in the tree. Oh, we got the first one.
Right. Yeah, we park the tank up close to this tank in order to protect our scout here.
Yep. We have Nancy this time.
Yeah, Nancy's like one of the exceptions for English actually, because she has slower dialogue. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but at the same time, it has some funny lines in English. But we want Power Scout to still be active here. Ooh,
Okay.
that was close, but made it.
Yeah. We could have been there for a very long time.
Good. That makes things a bit easier.
Thankfully, we got first try. If we don't get Power Scout, we need 5 headshots or 4 body shots. I mean, 4 headshots and a body shot. And even with it, we need 3 headshots or 2 headshots and a body shot. So it's pretty common that it fails there.
Yeah, so this mission is kind of a reprieve from all the hard missions we've had in a row from 7, 8-1, and 8-2. Basically, it's the only mission in the game where the enemy moves first. And
Yes.
they're supposed to be the people that are like allied with us, I think, the Federation. But they decided to kidnap the princess for political leverage, I think.
They can't get to the harbor.
That's
We
probably
stop
it.
them here.
I am
Squad 7,
admittedly
move out.
very uninformed of this game's story. But yeah, now we get to go and watch a tank go vroom vroom for a little bit, or an APC. This is the only APC that appears in this game. They're pretty
Yes, that's
important
right.
and playable in like the rest of the series, but you get a small.
Yeah, so normally with vehicles, you usually blow them up, but because the princess is in this vehicle, you cannot blow
This is
it
an
up,
order.
because if you do that, the princess dies, and
Destroying
that's not
the target
ideal.
is your top
So
priority.
We just have to demolition boost a shock trooper,
I can do that.
and we run right in.
Found an enemy.
Yeah, we're gonna keep our distance because this APC is very good.
I
Like
can do
defense
that.
is good at. The high ground is great. And like, oh yay, we got a one circle. So I can say the funny thing. I recently learned if you were playing on PC at 75 FPS, which isn't really allowed, if you decide to do that for some reason and you got a one cycle here, game soft locks. Like the boss will be dead and you can just run around circles in it.
That's actually dumb.
Yeah. 75 FPS on PC is very strange. Speaking of strange things, I hope something happens to this mission. Sometimes the game will load different colors for this map. I've
Oh,
only
I haven't
it
had that happen.
But very funny when it happens. Like the searchlights are gonna be like a very
Our top
orange,
priority is
and
to get to the
entire
rendezvous point.
map will be like tinted.
Squad 7, move out!
Doesn't look like we got it now. Unless that's like.
Entering combat.
Oops,
Enemy
we have it on
sighted.
there. Anyway, so this map we need to get Vulcan to the end of the
Hostile
very
sighted.
low
Alert!
stage.
Alert! You're on enemy turf!
And we're gonna kill every enemy on the way, just to make the enemy phases faster. This will take 4 turns to go.
Entering combat. Enemy sighted.
Yeah, and sometimes it takes like careful positioning of the tank in order to prevent to make the enemy turns faster.
Entering
as well,
combat.
depending on what you're up against, actually.
Fire!
Now we're gonna let the enemy move forward. Maybe almost the only. Turn 2 and 3 are the ones they move.
Here we go!
And more searchlights, but
Enemy sighted.
one, they can't really harm our team. 2, some of them are unavoidable.
Hostile sighted.
Snake. It's a
Here we
little
go.
faster to take on that match.
Hostile sighted. Enemy sighted.
I think the fact that I'm very, very amused at during the enemy phases that I just see vroom, 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 vroom on the screen. It says about how old I am at heart.
Yeah. Don't worry. Make the noises.
Just keep up.
Here we go.
We're gonna move
Like,
Hostile sighted.
that makes me feel better because I absolutely would do that if I were a runner of this game.
And I'm gonna move slightly forward.
Entering combat.
And hopefully this goes.
Now.
Yeah, this is to hopefully prevent the Lancer from spotting us on the enemy phase, I believe. Like, the Lancer will move, but not in a position where he will shoot you.
The Lancer isn't like terribly dangerous. It does waste quite a lot of time.
Here we go.
Provide the
How
squad
we
some
gonna fight
cover
the
fire.
Lancer?
Enemy sighted.
They're very good at not dying on the first launch.
Yeah, I had some really bad luck in a mission
Nice work!
on the marathon run where
Here we go.
all the Lancers dodged my shots.
Yeah, they start dodging you to see it
Gotta
really
love
rough
nature.
because you have to like burn movement that you don't want to.
Fire!
And burning more of your command points means you have less move per turn.
Here
And
we
because the
go.
air device uses 2 per movement, you can run out of CP very quickly.
Yes. Thankfully, we're all
Gotta
done
love nature.
very stuff. Kind of is like to the point where I'm forward, but I'm not forward enough to die.
I'm surprised you can get that close.
Yeah. I'm gonna attempt to get to the end in
Here
3
we go.
actions. You have to like be very close, but
Gotta
not
love
too
nature.
close. If you're in front of
Hostile
the
sighted.
end during this game, is
Enemy sighted.
because this is 2 lancers, and they
Oh,
really
yeah.
like shooting.
I should mention tanks have tread HP as well as body HP. You have to
Entering
take out
combat.
the body HP to take out a tank. If you take out the tread HP, you just prevent them from moving.
Nice work. Keep taking them down.
Yeah.
And that's not a thing in other Valkyria games.
Yeah, they kind of discovered that. In the run, it
Entering
shouldn't
combat.
be a big deal.
I thought the point there.
Yeah, there's a little in chapter 16 that if I messed up, I would not be good. But it doesn't matter. And this is the menu that we would have done in 8.2. But instead, we're going to combine it with the 10.2 menu because it saves like a minute total. Because we mentioned earlier about the animations.
Yeah, and also you get Scout Elite here, which is a upgrade version of the Scout. You get access to rifle grenades and just a whole bunch of upgrades. They promote at level 11.
Yes. So a bunch of orders. We do use one of those orders. We might have these.
Yeah, we do get some of these orders. Oh, do we get them now? Oh, no, we do. Yeah, we do. Never mind.
Yeah, I just forgot. I've been caution at 12 and penetration at 15. I don't really know what orders that we're getting. This is kind of expected of what
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
at
also.
one point... Oh, we're not doing it then. Right. I know we promote shock troops at one point to get a very important order for the last mission. Did we do it? No. No, we do promote them, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to do that next. Well, technically we go to HQ in 11, but that's like...
Our job is to make sure that bomb gets set.
Yeah, I'm just
Squad
thinking too
7,
early,
move
so.
out.
And just like 8, this is going to be 10-2. This chapter is special.
Yeah, so this mission starts out pretty normal.
Moving out.
I would say we just moved Alicia into
Pull it together.
a decent
Enemy
position
unit spotted.
for the next turn.
Enemy unit spotted.
How are those tank treads holding up?
Enemy sighted.
She may get shot a bit, but provided that she has like
Technically, I don't have to heal, but I might get like headshot.
yes, I mean if you get headshot, it's like 287 health. So
Probably dead.
yeah,
Moving
you'll
out.
be dead if you get headshot.
Enemy sighted.
There's the tank we're talking. We're hopefully not going to get shot by him.
Yeah, so this is where the mission after this enemy phase. This is Gregor, by the way. He's in the train up there, and he's like the boss of the stage. And the train basically fires down a lot of machine gun fire at you if you get too close. Depending on the position of the train on the tracks. The position of the train changes every turn, so you're gonna see an animation shot after the enemy somewhere their turn.
Here's our turn. Recently learned playing in English that the NCPs call this the pain.
Minor damage sustained.
Yes. It's really funny.
We might hear that voice back. There's no problem. It does that
Here we go.
sometimes.
So this is where the mission doesn't become normal. So
Enemy sighted.
Alexis is going to make a very difficult shot.
Fire!
Aww. So we're trying to shoot down that bridge from our bridge, and it's a very long distance. You only get a couple of pixels of aim
Entering combat.
to get it in the center of the reticle.
Fire!
Alright.
There we go.
Yeah, and the particular position Alexis is in is pretty consistent to getting it within like 3 shots. I think after 3 shots, you want to safety save because
Yes.
otherwise you just cannot complete the mission if you miss the 4th shot.
Now, we're gonna use 2 defensive
an order.
orders. We're gonna use defense boost, which is what we usually use,
Brace up and get ready to
and
defend yourself.
caution, which is just like another way to reduce damage. Because we're gonna take a lot of damage otherwise.
This is an order.
Yeah, it's
Advance
another.
with caution. Stay sharp.
It's like a better defense boost, basically, what caution is.
My turn, okay?
And it takes
Yeah,
up
if
2
we
CP.
didn't
so-
have it, this tank would kill us right away.
You could attack all day and not sense that thing.
Enemy unit spotted.
Make sure you stay calm.
Enemy unit spotted. Enemy unit spotted.
We're gonna take like
Moving
less
out.
than 4 damage. in these orders.
Enemy sighted.
Keep that cover fire coming.
Yeah, at least it becomes kind of invincible when you stack those 2 orders on top of each other. It's really funny.
Look out for that anti-tank cannon.
Alright, I
Like
got
you would-
movement in 1, but we still need movement or action. Because we now have to shoot these
Moving out.
spots. And we were like right here.
Yeah, Zaka wanted us to shoot those 2 points, and yeah, that's the mission.
Now we get to watch a very long cutscene of the train. This is one of 2 train-related cutscenes at the end of a chapter in this game.
And that's one of the 4 generals that Maximilian has that we just took out. He's not going to survive that.
Yeah, we don't hear about that sheriff anymore. I do at least know their name because they appear in unspeakable cutscenes. One more cutscene, then back the menus. Unfortunately, we have to do this because if we don't get caution into it is impossible. If we could do it without caution, we would be able to combine the 2.
Yeah, here we just upgrade armor, and I believe we changed the we just got the Shamrock thanks to recruiting another character called Zaka.
Yes.
And we're going to change his shells to normal machine guns, and that's going to be very useful for the final mission of the game.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't quite know why it's already equipped really, really good compared to the one weapon. I think it's both weaker and more or less accurate, which is just good. Oh, well, we do use it in the run. Oh, we used to, but we're probably gonna use it.
Yeah, this is the chapter
Clear
where
out the
Isara
Imperial
confirms
shoreline
that Welcome
defenses.
is the guy
Squad
that's
7,
aiming
move
the
out.
tank as well. So, yeah, any misses, yeah, it's been confirmed by the game.
Actually, since we have a moment, first off, I'd like to reintroduce everyone
My turn, okay?
real quick for those of you who are just joining, because we're about an hour into this speed run. This is Never
Can't beat
Before
the smell
Seen,
of
a
fresh
show that
soil.
focuses on featuring runs that have never before been run
I'm
at
going
a
in.
mainline
Cover me.
GDQ event, so AGDQ, SGDQ, GDQx. If your game has not been in one of those, I want it on this show. But we have Alexis Goes Moo here running Valkyria Chronicles, any percent, and we have Aeon Frodo doing commentary. And you can actually find more information on leaderboards, because I know someone is asking about like where can we find the run,
Brace up and get ready to
everything
defend
like
yourself.
that. Let me command you. That shows you the leaderboards for both games that we have featured tonight, which is the magic
This
of
is an order.
oh god, the magic of Scheherazade
Stay sharp.
and Valkyria Chronicles as well, and
My turn, okay?
Oh yeah, sorry to interrupt
Yeah.
you.
Enemy
Yeah.
sighted.
This is
You're
where the game
good.
goes full,
Enemy sighted. Enemy sighted.
this is
Enemy
what the
sighted.
speedrun encapsulates of Valkyria Chronicles, if you know the name. But yeah, it's
Running past just about everything.
and you hear Lisa say in the squad a lot. It's really great.
That was a lot of damage.
My turn, okay?
Yeah, unfortunately that is a lot of damage. Usually you don't
Enemy
sustain
sighted.
that much damage. Hopefully you get first. Ah, dang it. Alicia has a chance at a I think it's first aid plus, and that heals completely.
Enemy sighted.
What's surprising is decent HP at this point for how much she took earlier,
Yeah.
but we are gonna save this. Partially
Yeah,
because
it's
of damage, and partially because we have a risky thing coming up.
Yeah, so there's a chance that the
My
shock
turn,
trooper
okay?
will not get out of the base when we use our rifle grenade for the first time. The rifle
Yeah.
grenade just gives way more distance than a normal regular grenade throw. And hopefully he stays out. Okay, good.
Risky's
That was a bit
surprised.
scary there.
Spotted.
Alright, we're gonna like try to kill this guy, but
Yeah, so we're using the tank here to kill his friends. It's kind of funny. Friendly fire here. Oh, it's close. Nice.
that was a little close. We took a lot of damage, but it turned out alright.
That was the best possible way it could go.
And now we're gonna go back to the map. If anyone remembers from chapter 2, if I got it right.
Yeah, chapter. It's a combination of chapter 1 and 2's map actually. It's kind of got elements of both in it. Oh
And
yeah,
it's-
and
A lot easier than the Jesus next.
and yeah, our tank driver just died, so we have to get there's a new tank driver, so to take the
Isara.
place.
We're taking back our home, East.
So
Squad
if you
7,
welcome
move
style
out.
it's yeah.
Alright.
Also, out of curiosity, if chat wanted to find more about yourselves or the community, where would
This
they
is an
find
order.
you? Want to go
Brace
ahead
up
and
and
just
get
plug
ready to
yourselves
defend
or
yourself.
shout out the community or anything like that? That would be a great time to do that as well.
This is an order.
Sure, we have a
Destroying
pretty,
the target is your
um,
top priority.
pretty decent sized community. We that runs
My turn,
all the
okay?
Valkyria Chronicle games, except for
Enemy sighted.
the one we don't talk about.
Enemy sighted.
And, yeah, so we have a Discord that not sure if ever made it accessible to the public. I'm not sure. But we might as well tell her about that. But yeah,
My turn.
if you want to join
okay?
that, or at least like
Enemy sighted.
try to join that. Hopefully it is public, but if it's not, I'll
Enemy
probably
sighted.
It is
tell you
public.
about it. But we do have a community base with it that runs all the games in the series, too, except the one we don't talk about. But yeah, and
My turn, okay?
yeah, I'm not. I don't really I haven't done this run in a while, but sometimes I just do it, and I use more safer strats here, as Alexis is just taken back hill.
Alright, and we just got done chapter 12. It could be a little bad if that skipper were to have teleported back into base. Because they're an ace and they basically dodge every shot, but they were cooperative today.
Yeah. So that's like the only big deal in the mission, otherwise the mission's very easy. The one we don't talk about is the one we don't talk about.
There's also the card battle game. I don't know if
That
that's accessible
exists?
still.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Wait, this thing has a like a card battle game?
I have no idea how that would work.
I don't know, they managed to turn Phantasy Star Online into a card battle game for one expansion, so, why not this?
Anyway, we're gonna do another grenade launch.
My turn, okay?
First, we have to run across the big jump.
Enemy unit spotted. Enemy sighted.
Don't you die on me.
Oh, someone figured out in chat what the one we don't talk about is. It's not 2. 2's way better than that.
Follow the
Okay, we
advance
went
unit.
to... Well, I like...
Moving out.
How are you holding up?
Now.
Okay, so this mission has a lot of really tough enemies as well, so you gotta use balls and all that sort of stuff. Next turn is the big turn this mission though. And
Yeah. I'm gonna safety save,
You
but the
better
last
safety
time I
save.
safety saved here, it soft-locked my game.
What?
So,
What?
yeah, I've had like the game soft lock when loading an old save here, never making the save. So
I think
we
I've
will
s-
see.
Yeah, I think the game crashed on me when I loaded a save from this, but not
Moving out.
Alright.
when I saved.
Looks like my inputs.
Enemy sighted.
I'm gonna do this up in the corner.
Yeah, so what Alexis is doing is a blind shot.
Now.
There are some indications on the wall, I think, that gives Alexis a visual cue. But
Don't
otherwise,
let them break through.
Enemy unit
I
spotted.
think they nailed the shot. Yes, they did.
That is
nice.
a lot of damage.
Yeah, it
We'll have to
is.
do the save strat.
Which is a little bit unfortunate, but at the same time, you want to be safe here. Because if you die here, you have to do it again. And we don't want to do it again. Do that blind
Yeah.
shot again. Because that's like
Because
the
if
hardest
we were
part.
to get a dodge there, we have to keep doing the shots.
Damn it, they took the camp.
So we're gonna just do
This is
a
an
whole
order.
bunch of orders. Normally we would only do demolition
Destroying the
boost,
target is your
but
top priority.
due to my HP, I'm gonna do the safety orders.
This is an order. Brace up and get ready to defend yourself.
And we're gonna go for
This is an order.
I'm fairly
Advance
sure
with
we
caution.
don't need
Stay
one,
sharp.
but better safe than sorry.
be good.
Yeah, this will guarantee that she'll survive the oncoming bullets. And also there is an upcoming difference between PS4 and PC versions. Basically, that tank there moves slower, like aims slower than in the PC version, so it's much easier to pressure a tank on PS4. And yeah, we just blew up a tank with our rifle. I hope everyone enjoys that.
Yeah.
Man down.
We'll be doing that a few more times.
Yeah. The demolition bridge is a powerful order.
The last long window of the game is coming up.
Oh yeah, so plot-wise here, we find out that Alicia herself is actually a Valkyria, so that explains why she's OP. And before we go right into the mission, we do a quick menu here to upgrade our shock trooper and snipers to the appropriate levels. I think this is the mission where we get where we promote our shock troopers and we get the penetration order for us from the
Yes.
level 15 snipers. Oh my goodness. Hope that made sense.
And that's the order we get. We get all units of 10.
Yeah. Well,
Also, I guess shock troopers early, which we do need, because that's how we get the shock trooper weapon up.
yeah.
Yes, this is work. Alright, and this should be our last level up, because if I remember correctly, I did not get Marina.
Yeah, but Catherine's a good backup though. The Marina.
And oh yeah. I'm gonna use snipers for once this round. And it's not until the very end.
Yeah,
Anyway,
so
we're getting the mag is very useful weapon. It's probably the best in the game.
yeah, clip size up is actually a better upgrade than firepower up in this game because you get more shots. And obviously more shots means more damage output. You can get up to 35 shots with clip size up. That's the max upgrade. While with firepower boost you can only get 20 and it stays at 20 shots.
Yeah, and when we use orders like demolition
Concentrate
boost and
on taking their
penetration, it
base here.
applies the
Squad
buff
7,
to each
move out.
individual shot. So it ends up making things with higher shot counts do really stupid damage.
So yeah, we don't control each other, which sucks. At the same time,
You get to play with the camera. It's really slow, sadly, on PS4.
this is where we take our break during runs if we get to this point in the run. This is like 2 minutes or this out of the
Because we're gonna watch this, and then we're gonna watch another film. In New Game Plus, we thankfully have a strat to do this in one time.
As a reminder to everyone in chat, this is actually a good time if you need to like get up and stretch or go get some water or something like that. Take care of yourselves. There is always the VOD if you want to catch every minute of everything. I highly encourage runners and viewers alike to.
Just watch this. You jokers still all right?
Especially for longer runs like this.
Yeah, this is the shortest run in the series. The other
Just
games
watch
are
this.
quite a bit longer.
Yeah, especially Valkyria Chronicles, I think. here for it's like 6 hours, 5-6 hours.
Yeah, I think it's like 5 and a half.
I totally got it.
We're just gonna be positioning our units for the next round. We can't quite win on this one.
The enemy's defensive line
You
has
have to
been
be careful when
broken.
you're parking here with the scout, otherwise the shock trooper can spot them. So.
Aww. Sometimes it skips that. Pretty rare though. Now, first enemy phase, and then militia phase.
Yeah, this is why we upgraded the Edelweiss's armor, by the way, so that the Edelweiss can tank these shots.
Under miner fire.
Otherwise, the Edelweiss will just blow up, and if the Edelweiss blows up, because weapons the main character's in, you just get a damage up.
And we're
Yeah, Alicia just snaps onto the next enemy. She just destroys the 4 enemies right here.
yeah. If I were to never do anything, the enemies would infinitely spawn 1 unit each turn, and Alicia would kill them. Each turn.
Been waiting here.
More positioning because the game is going to ambush us, so we are getting ambushed.
Yeah, if you're not prepared for the second half of this mission, it's very ugly.
This is
Just
an
to put
order.
it politely.
Destroying the target is your top priority.
Sometimes I amuse myself by watching people's casual playthroughs of this game.
This is an order.
And it's actually quite cool seeing how people figure out how
Aim
to
for where their
put some...
protection is weakest.
Yeah, this game looks way different casually.
I totally got it.
Like, this game is very long actually.
Think you can
Yeah, especially when you watch all the cutscenes as well.
Speaking of cutscenes, the one with
Yep.
Alicia's younger actors.
Gets off her, she isn't Valkyria form anymore. Basically the way to become a Valkyria is also you have to have have a blood of the Valkyria running through your veins, and you have to be in a near-death situation. So, in the previous mission, Alicia got shot, and that's how her Valkyria power was activated. Oh, Nancy might say the thing pretty soon. It's really
Yeah,
funny.
we have a chance.
Just,
now
leave it to me.
I play on English, I actually know what that is.
There's a ton of them.
You've broken through the enemy's defensive
Please
line.
say it, Nancy.
We have another
Hit,
chance.
okay? Just, leave it to me. There's a ton of them.
Aw. Anyway, we're just gonna shoot a rifle and this
Just,
boss.
leave it to me.
Yeah, one person in chat is like saying she never got shot in the first half. I think referring to Alicia. I'm like, she did get shot a lot in chapter 11.
Yippee!
Yeah, it's just like in near-death situations most of the game.
Been waiting here.
Gotta be careful because sometimes you click into the tank and then it clips around and is no longer a weak spot hit.
Yeah, and
Been
that's
waiting
really
here.
it's really silly, but yeah, you have to kind of keep some distance between you and the tank. There's a chance you can activate tank side here and save a turn if you do on the first 2 turns.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Yeah, thanks. On to chapter 2. First story that we're not gonna watch.
Yes. Basically, the lowdown is Faldio, welcomes friends from university. Shot Alicia in order to activate her Valkyrie powers. He figured out she was a Valkyria or could activate her powers, and thanks to the desert outing, hence why that mission was kind of important. And yeah, he gets sent into isolation, I believe,
Here.
for shooting Alicia.
Yeah. Speaking of Alicia, she's fine now. We're gonna use her.
There are 3
This
switches
is
total.
her last
Let's
time
clear the
actually
way.
in the run.
Squad 7, move out.
You know,
Entering
chat,
combat.
this is a strat I discovered actually accidentally
Yes.
too.
So there's a shock trooper. We don't want them to move forward, but the spot that you found is
My
going to
turn,
make it so
okay?
they're guaranteed not to move forward. It used to be like random. Also, we need to smoke around so we don't. Is that current
Keep your eyes peeled for mines.
seriously?
But yeah, I described this mission as the Macbeth mission from Star Fox
Back each
64.
other up.
You basically gotta hit the switches and let the train move through to the base.
Yeah, as you can see, shock trooper just kind of like tries to move and just gets out.
Can't see your tank and can't see
This is an
anything
order.
else, so it doesn't move. Yeah, I
Advance
accidentally
with caution.
discovered that,
Stay
so that was
sharp.
kind of funny as well. I think that's my early contribution to the run, actually.
Moving out.
Right, speaking of funny things, we actually have to work Alicia in a
expect
specific
results from
spot
all
to
of you.
avoid the cutscene
Enemy sighted.
on
Yes.
the ladders.
Enemy unit spotted.
Yeah, if you get too, I think too close or too
Wait,
far to the.
yeah.
Oh, you got
I had
it.
a thing
Oh, no.
happen where it like pauses and brings the cutscene up, and then brings it up again.
Wait, so you had it happen twice?
Moving out.
Yeah, I've seen that a few times. If you check back, like the game, like I'll try to. I think if you end turn, then it doesn't end turn. It plays the cutscene.
Wow.
How much more blood?
Just gonna heal it for safety, because when you go over the base, you're taking a lot of it.
Please be careful of stray bullets.
Also, there was a lot of landmines there.
Yeah,
It would
and
be
we just
very bad if I
activated,
stepped on them.
activated the first switch. So that's Operation Complete. Chapter 15 is in 2 parts though. So the next part is well, I think when you play the next part of the chapter casually, it's really hard. But the way Alexis is gonna do it is gonna be really simple.
Yeah, this is like one of those late game maps that takes a really long time to beat. You played the game
Yeah.
first?
Yeah, so we're fighting Solaria in not as her Valkyria form, actually in her normal form, because
Take out their
Alicia
commander
beat her
and
as
claim
a
Gear
Valkyria,
Lendio.
so what's the point?
Squad 7, move
So
out.
she has a really powerful gun called the Room, and it just like has range all over the map. This range is actually crazy. Here, Alexis is going to do a smoke bomb near the shock trooper here. And we're going to use Zach.
Leave it to me.
Yeah, no orders here. You can use an order to almost guarantee that Savaria dies in 1 round. But if Alexis aims quite precisely here, he might hit 1 round.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 cycle without orders as it seems.
Way ahead of
Even
ya.
there's a decent chance you can get a 1 cycle.
Fire!
Yeah, we have to go back in the smoke in order for her to not dodge if she survives. But yeah, that's the mission. Normally in this mission, I think the casual strat is to sniper, to hit her with 2 snipers, both on opposite ends, so that she doesn't, so you don't get shot and you can't dodge, basically.
Yeah. She dodges any frontal attack unless you get like a potential that prevents dodging.
Yeah.
And now this is the longest actual mission. As you can see, it's a very big map. And we're
Yeah,
gonna
and
be
it's
using
basically
the
a glorified auto-scroller.
We have to divert that monster away from the capital.
Here's the biggest tank in the
Squad
game
7,
right behind
move
us.
out.
We're directing it away from the capital. I think that's the idea. In order
Yes.
to... Yeah.
Although, it is gonna end up hitting it.
Here we go.
So, in previous routes of the realm, we used to have Alicia, but then we figured out we could just use Welkin. But the thing is with Welkin is that he is inaccurate at times.
It's injured.
So hopefully he does not miss.
Yeah. Falcon has killed many late runs.
Oh yeah,
It makes
and
it more fun.
yeah, we're leaving Zaka in the dust, by the way. Zaka, although he does die, he's not he's a main character, so he doesn't get permadeath, so he can appear in the next mission. If you actually bring people who are not leaders into this mission and they die, it's like a permadeath if they get run over by the tank. So,
Yeah.
this mission can be really spooky casually.
Entering
We
combat.
wouldn't let Saka die because if we had to move 2 units forward, this mission would be basically
Stay calm.
just gonna
Maintain
slowly
formation and flank them.
press them. Here's the
Now.
that's the easy. What we're doing is
Entering
we're making
combat.
landslides, so the remote, I believe that's what it's called. That's the follow
Hostile
us.
sighted. Fire.
We can
Entering
just
combat.
2 more times for safety.
Alright. At least that didn't
I love nature.
That movement was okay.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, and the reason why I got
Now.
two names and stuff. Alexis is using smoke bombs is so that the tank is invisible to the enemy, so that the enemies won't move and save time during enemy turns. Otherwise, you see the most indecisive enemy movement you will ever see. It's really funny though, but at the same time, wastes a lot of time.
As long as there's no sight lines, we should be good. Like, this part is weird sometimes. Alright, nice. Now the mission should be more smooth sailing, but I'm gonna use the tank round for everything, so there's always a chance that we'll miss. Yes. It saves like a few seconds. Yeah, absolutely, it's first turn. I used to use the mortar, which is like 100% rate.
Entering combat.
It's there's similarity.
We'll be there in a minute. Hold out till then.
Good job.
Move in groups while backing each other up.
And this was all the mines I was talking about.
Here we go.
Most of these are anti-personnel mines, they're not a big deal.
Yeah,
But
so they're
some of them are
fine.
anti-tank.
Yeah. Most of them are fine to take over, but they get too many on the team. Between trades and then you can't manage it. Because you have no engineer, it's very bad.
Thankfully, the smoke rounds are going to prevent the enemies from running around in circles, but there's still quite a few cutscenes. Of course, we have to watch the orders every night.
Entering combat. Hostile sighted.
Good job.
Don't get pinned down. Fire back.
Entering combat. Now.
Alright, and that is the last smoke round for the mission.
Stay sharp out there. Focus.
Entering combat.
Now we're going to make another event. This will also double as
Gotta
cover
love
from
nature.
state
Target
lines,
sighted.
but
Yeah.
so we won't have to worry about it.
Fire!
Focus on making...
So it's kind of important where I land my thing. The biggest deal though. But just because of the last
Here we go.
Yeah, apparently some people in chat don't know that Valkyria Chronicles 4 is a game that's out on Nexus. It's basically, it plays like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, except some things have been nerfed.
Like 1 in 4 are like a pair and 2 and 3 are like a pair in terms of like their basic gameplay.
I thought to bring up 4 because I really like that game and it's got a pretty good speed run as well.
Yeah, it's had a lot of rerouting recently. Yeah, this phase and then one more. Then we'll go on to the last 2 chapters, but we're gonna have to do 3 missions. And this is the really long one where you can see, yeah, the Empire, they painted a face on their big tank.
Oh, I had no idea. I was in that bundle, then absolutely get it. Especially if you really like 1. You should definitely like 4. Sorry, just looking at a chat message about it. In the Humble Choice bundle, I think.
Road is it's gonna. I think they remind you and they were trying to stop it, but it does not work.
Yeah. Well, that's the auto scroll done.
Yep.
The next few missions.
Next
are
couple
pretty
maps are
fast.
much faster. Well, 18-1 is a little slow, but 2 of the last 3 maps are very fast.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is kind of hard to tell, but this is the map from chapter 4, but it's daytime. It looks really different.
Yeah, and there's a lot more destruction as well. And you started pointing the map too.
Our target is Jaeger's tank. Stay
But
sharp,
yeah,
Sevens. Squad
Jaeger
7, move
claims
out.
he's nothing can get through to his tank, but we're gonna prove him wrong.
Yeah, we're gonna, for the next mission, there's a lot of boss fights. We're
This
just
is an
gonna
order.
use our orders.
Destroying the target is your top priority.
Penetration on our shock trooper here, number Kevin.
This is an order.
Yeah, well, this will come up in the
Aim for where
next
their
mission,
protection is
but
weakest.
Evan is actually the best shock trooper for the 80% speedrun for
Roger
one
that.
specific thing. 18-1.
Yeah. That
I
never
see an
happens
enemy.
usually.
I see an
but
enemy.
it can happen.
Found an enemy.
There's a possibility.
I actually have yet to get 18-1 with
I can do that. I see an enemy. I see an enemy. I can do that.
But yeah, it takes 2 rounds actually with Mag 7 here. I think
I can do
yeah,
that.
Mag 7. Take out the T-Mag 7. Oh no, T-Mag 13. To take out the armor of this tank.
Your orders, sir?
Yeah, then one more. I have to move the cursor a little bit up because
Roger
you
that.
do not want to hit the tread.
Yeah. You need like every shot, I think.
Yeah, I think you only can miss like 1 or 2. But thankfully that's not something to worry about because the circle is actually cooperative for this mission. It would be not nice if 17 was an initial run killer.
So we're going through this whole page. These next 2 pages are just plot. And then we get to the final 2 missions of the game.
Yep. Oh, I guess I should mention, you might have noticed that sometimes that I like move the cursor over something that has an asterisk near it. That's an optional cutscene, so we're just gonna skip skipping on to save a little time.
Yeah, just as a reminder. What I mentioned earlier on. I think I didn't mention the asterisk part. You avoid optional cutscenes.
Our target is the Marmota. Sink it at all costs. Squad 7,
But there are some
move out.
gimmicks in this mission. One, I think the enemies infinitely spawn, and 2, Cordelia heals you every 2 to 3 turns.
Yes, but
But we won't experience
Yeah.
that, which is quite funny.
Entering combat.
Because we finished this mission in 2 turns.
Bermuda Bridge and Now we're gonna hide in smoke because we do not
Entering
have the
combat.
CP to win this time.
Yeah, and there's also a lancer that loves shooting the back of the air device, and as I mentioned earlier, that's a game over if often dies. So, want to avoid that.
And this is about minutes of very slow enemy turn.
Yeah, this is why we thought the PC version was faster, because of this particular enemy turn. This particular enemy turn is really long. Yeah, just a lot of shuffling.
Yeah, I think you all mentioned the Lancer. There's a very slight chance the Lancer will kill us, but it shouldn't happen. This unit
Yeah.
right here. Or maybe the other one. I usually take a walk during this chapter.
I mean, you probably have enough time for a little break, so might as well.
All done then you. That's a firing range, but it's never gonna matter.
This is an
And
order.
it's another boss fight, so we're gonna use Demo Boost.
Destroying the target is your top priority.
Well, the boss is actually the typical lance.
Yeah,
You have
This
to
is an
take
order.
out.
it should say it's a tank boss. 'cause
Aim for where their protection
we're
is
gonna fight a
weakest.
human boss.
Yeah, so about that. The tip of the
Roger that.
Maximilian mounts this giant lance on the capital on the back of the Marmota. That's right.
Try to read the situation.
He has two different names, so sometimes it gets a little confusing. But yeah.
Roger that.
Yeah, there's. We'll get a better look at it.
Found an enemy.
Normally you can go for shooting both of these at once, but I think my Doctor Bore is a little too forward.
Roger
to
that.
get angle. That's not a thing.
Yeah, we have the CP to. Yeah, we had the CP to pull this off.
Your orders, sir?
That was two vector animations, both 7.
I can do
Anyway, we hit this
feel better.
twice. We actually just got it. Go ahead. We can do this in 2 cycles.
I can do that.
And that happened.
Um, oh, we could get it on the 3rd round.
I can do
We
that.
didn't do anything. Oh, we actually did do it.
Oh wow. Very nice video game. But with that mission done, we get to do yeah, we do a little bit of menuing before the final mission.
Yeah. I mean, we technically could do the risky strap. That's not a good idea out there.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. I tried doing it and I only got it once, and it's very difficult to pull off the risk.
Yeah, and we also, if you do that, you can't have the sniper miss anyone.
Yeah.
It's like more risky. So instead, we're gonna upgrade to T-Mag 20. Time is going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Time is when
Depends on-
yeah. Oh, I say when Maximilian runs out of HP. So was Farm Boss's Maximilian, but that
Yeah.
big deal. Basically, he's powered up and he's
This
created
is our
this
final operation.
artificial
Let's end this
Valkyria.
war. Squad
So
7, move
basically, he's got the powers of the Valkyria, but you need to take out these. So you need to take out these 3 towers in order to actually damage him, and then you can actually damage him. The towers actually regenerate every turn, and they change positions as well. There's like 6 or 7 towers, and 3 of them are active at once. So it's just very annoying,
This is an order.
depending on which towers are active. But
Aim for where their
fortunately,
protection
we
is
one
weakest.
turned this mission, so we don't have to worry about it.
I'll handle this.
So here's the first tower. Thankfully, the default layout is the same every time, and it's
How about that?
really good for the speed
Enemy
run.
unit neutralized.
We're gonna maximum is very scary. Also, if this was a medium plus run, it would be a very bad run.
Roger
The rubble that you see is randomly generated. That's the side that you go up, and it's blocking this. Thankfully, it's not a waste run.
Your orders, sir?
Yeah, and you'll be careful with your position of shock trooper there too, otherwise friendly fire can happen.
Please get back up to me.
Here's our only
Please get back up to me.
Yes, the middlehead skill. I want to pass in chat.
I'm not
all
done yet.
towers.
Enemy unit neutralized.
I have to remember to switch. I mentioned
Leave it
this
to me.
a while ago. There's a really weak weapon.
Steal all
You
this
want to
fire.
use it. Is
Yeah, so Zach just activated middlehead, so you just have to use the gun that has the least bullets, so you don't over damage Maximilian. This is another little sequence break here where we get to skip a phase. And then we're going to do a final order, which is all units attack. And hopefully that should finish Maximilian off.
I want you
Yeah.
to fire every bullet you've
as
got.
always with I will save before this in case I get blocked. But with this strat, it should be safe.
That's okay.
Leave it to me.
Alright, and time.
Gee.
Yeah, that was a
Big shout outs to Kevin.
yeah, that's a very good run.
And thank you for the GGs.
Absolutely. Actually, a little bit behind on. There we go. It was a 154.20. There we go. I was looking for the final time there.
Yeah, that's better than my PB.
It's time to surrender, Maximilian.
That was a
Your
very
war
good
is
run.
over.
And honestly, it was a really cozy, comfy run too. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
just kind of sitting back and
The
watching
whole
it.
series is like that.
We Valkyria.
Because there's a lot of like mix of downtime and then like fun.
Inferno of destruction.
It's stuff where you just do things. But yeah, this game got a lot of attention for, you know, kind of being unique in a way that it is a third-person shooter and a strategy RPG. So, a turn-based strategy RPG. So yeah. Yeah, we do have a community of people. Hopefully the Discord is public and accessible by anyone. It is, yeah, where we run all the Valkyria games except the one that hasn't been named, the one that doesn't want to be named, or we don't mention.
Why has it stopped?
My guess is.
And yeah, it's
because I killed the power supply.
yeah, the community's it's not too big, but we do have people running
I
every
snuck
game
out in
in the
time to
series.
hitch a ride on this monster. I'm sorry it took me
But
so
yeah,
long to
it's,
stop the
it's,
engine.
it's a pretty nice and hopefully we get
Yeah, you can
people,
find-
more minds into the community as well. Sorry about that.
Let's go!
No, you're okay. I was gonna say you can find the leaderboard for the first Valkyria Chronicles in the command I just posted, and also definitely follow our runner and our commentator. Shoutouts to Alexis for submitting this run and putting on a really good run for us, and Aeon, thank you so much for doing commentary because I've only seen this game. I know tangentially very little about it.
Yeah, we didn't go
uh,
much into the plot about it. But,
Yeah.
yeah,
Alright,
people
right.
really, people really like the game's plot. Although personally, I like Fours better.
Could save us.
Yeah.
Now it's our cue to leave the stage.
Yeah, like it has such a wonderful aesthetic. Like this game has like it's really beautiful, even though it has like a lot of muted colors. It's still like somehow really like brilliant game in its appearance. And I always really enjoyed the way the gameplay has looked between being a mix of like a tactical RPG and third-person shooter. So if you liked this run, take a look at the game, maybe give it a casual run, consider speedrunning it if you like it enough. And seriously, I can't thank the two of you enough for allowing me to put this on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That was a nice one.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. It's absolutely my pleasure to have you all here. And I want to thank everyone in chat for watching as well. If you did happen to miss any of the runs tonight, either from Mercy Kill or from Never Before Seen, because we did have a run before this one, or if you maybe missed this run will be on YouTube, or this episode will be on YouTube, just like all of our previous Hotfix shows. So take a look at youtube.com/gamesdonequick and check out that archive. And then you can also check on information on all of our Hotfix shows that is available at gamesdonequicks.com/hotfix. And from there you can find out more information about submitting your runs to any of our weekly shows. I do have a special submission form myself. I'm going to type the command for that in chat. The !NBS command will provide my submission form. And tomorrow, we have Gears of War 5 on the first step with Keystron and J-Hobbs. It's going to start at 7 p.m. Eastern. Watch former semi-pro Gears player Keyzeron face off against casual FPS player J-Hobbs. They show you that anyone can speedrun. As for Never Before Seen, next episode is going to be March 10th. That's Mario Day. See what we did there? MAR10. And I'm going to have Skybills and I are actually planning a Mario Day special between Mercy Kill and Never Before Seen. So that is definitely show that you a set of shows you want to see in a couple of weeks. So definitely, and for all of our Hotfix content, all the shows are good. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and send y'all over to another speedrunner. We're gonna raid someone else who is speedrunning. So go ahead, stick around. We're gonna do a quick ad break, and then we're gonna do a raid. Go send all your positive energy and vibes to the person that you're. Thank you all, and have a great night.